Greetings humanity, and welcome to Abject Adventure Gamery. I'm Jim, and with me here is Lucci. Hello!
Hello!
Yay! We're starting a new game today!
I can hardly believe it.
I know, it feels like we spent a very long time with those robots.
I'm a changed person.
Out of morbid curiosity, is the change for the better or for the worse?
Shh, don't have curiosities.
No, curiosity is bad. Curiosity is bad for us. How's it going? What have you had going on in your various gaming life and what have you?
It is going fine. It's going fine. I'm having an itch. I'm having a scratch. I had been playing a lot of VR recently, and this past week I have not, and it's bothering me.
Oh no.
So there's that. But other than that, I got to play a board game, Star Trek Ascendancy. One of my friends found a used copy, really inexpensive, and apparently it's doing like a Kickstarter for like, I don't know, some new version or whatever, with a bunch of different of the updates to it. It is a very good. I was pleasantly surprised in how good that game is, and
Sorry, go ahead.
So it's a you play a race. So like either like Federation. It starts with the base game is Federation, Romulan, and Klingon, and you all start with your home system. So like Earth, Romulus, Cronus, and then you create paths and you discover new star systems, and then you eventually meet and make first contact, and it's like a resource generating, but you can win by taking over the main the main system of your opponents, or earning so many points that that just prove your dominance in the galaxy, basically.
Interesting. And
so it's got a lot of really good mechanics, and the species are very, at least the first three are fairly balanced, but also very thematic in like a really good way. Like Romulans do best when they're off by themselves and not making first contact, and also are just building up their arsenal of shit.
Makes sense.
And Klingons gaining culture is like one of the main ways that you get the thing that wins you the game. And Klingons don't have a normal way to gain culture. They have to fight you in combat, and they take you and they take culture.
Yep, makes sense.
And then, of course, both a normal way for taking over systems near you is the Romulans and the Klingons, subjugate the system and take them over. And then with the Federation has to. They has to do it through diplomatic means. So it's very, very thematic. And then there are we were reading about some of the other races, and the Ferengi seem like they would be a lot of fun because they rule some acquisition, and
you have to buy the system or something.
Right. And Cardassians never take over a system; they occupy it. So you only have control if you leave a ship in orbit.
Of course. That's how it works.
I'm like I said, there's some very good thematic elements to the game that, especially if you like Star Trek, it's
yeah.
fun.
We're not officially taking over. We're just here until
we're
you
just here.
admit that we're in charge.
we're here, and when we want something, you give it to us. And when you don't want to give it to us, you give it to us.
God. Yeah. Very much so. Oh God.
So I'm excited. Apparently, my buddy who got the game just sometime this week, maybe, this week or next week, he should have the Deep Space Nine expansion to it. So I'm like,
oh, cool.
So we'll get wormholes and.
Yeah. That's awesome. It does sound like just not to mire us in tech at all. It's fine if we continue on like this, but I did notice it sounds like your volume has dropped a little bit. So I don't know if there's a thing. And
maybe Zoom is using the wrong thing. That happens. What are you using? Oh, that should be good. That should be good. It just suddenly dropped.
well, no, it's actually
No.
it was
Okay.
it was a thing. It was always a little soft. It was always a little lower, but it was like okay. But more. I'm now noticing it sounds like. Wait a minute. It's like it was.
Try
Yeah.
obvious thing first. Just choose something else.
It was like as we were setting up, I was thinking, should I mention that? And then it left my head.
Okay. Is that any better?
Oh yes.
Okay. Yeah. The normal solution: switch to a different audio input and then switch it right back.
Ah, there we go.
Fine.
Perfect. Excellent. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that sounds like an awesome board game. It's a board game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I remember playing the for a little bit. There was a trading card game back in the 90s. That like you could play as like the Federation or the Klingons or the Romulans. And those involved encounters and going on missions and stuff like that. But that sounds very cool. I like the sound of that.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we found the only thing it's lacking is like a lot of like cool artwork.
Ah,
Like there's
okay,
there's a lot of like space and like some ships and stuff, but there's not like it's not very visual.
Curses. Well, maybe with future releases, one never knows. That sounds very cool though. Hello, Schmelzer. Hi. We're just getting started here. I will say that I am actually something that I'm going to be working on probably over the next few days. Is I'm on it's a thing. I'm giving a presentation on Monday evening on a Discord on the Discord for High Shelf Collective. It's another channel where they do TTRPGs. And because they've started this thing where it's like you can volunteer to do presentations on different games, so that they're going to record it, so they'll have an archive, basically. And so it's like I have to prepare a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to be doing it on Don't Rest Your Head.
Excellent. I like it.
Because not enough people have been terrorized by that game.
I mean, I think enough people.
It's never enough.
I do like that game.
Oh yeah. But it's one of those games that it's. I won't say that. I don't know, but it's not like nobody's heard of it. You'll find people who've heard of it, but you find them a lot less often than you find folks who've heard of a lot of other games.
Right.
So it's just interesting. To me, it's sort of it's easy for that one to fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
So I I actually finally only actually ever got to play it. I'd only run the game up until last year. And last year, finally, I got to play in a one-shot of it.
Nice.
So like, it was finally an opportunity. And so that was much fun. Because I'd had decades of pent up not playing it to
Right.
to express myself through that medium. So that's a thing that I've got happening. And I can't think. I'm still playing the game we have going on here, the Trail of Cthulhu game. I'm also still playing in a D&D game that's actually a couple of them. What am I saying? Well, one is D&D, the other is Dark Matter, which is sort of doing, and they're both sort of off-stream private games. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's nice. It's nice.
Good.
It's nice this break that I've been taking from running games. I do want to get back to it though. We will see how things go. I'm trying to read through the new D&D book, or the new version of the D&D, the 2024.
Yeah, I've skimmed it.
It's taking me a little while because I have a lot of trouble nowadays hammering out time to read, or chiseling out time to read, more likely, in my schedule. I'm liking some of it, and some of it I'm like, yeah, okay. I haven't found anything egregious thus far, but I'm not that far in yet. I've only made it to the fighter section.
Gotcha.
And that took quite a while for me to get there. And then it doesn't help when people keep dangling these other games in front of me, and I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. I think we are quickly approaching the end of our D&D. At least this portion of it, which we're doing the Minds of Vandelver, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're doing the Beetle and Grimm extended version of that. Yeah. So I'm like, we're quickly approaching the end, I think, of that storyline, and kind of looking forward to stepping away from D&D and doing something else. Oh God. I was look. My first experience was with D&D, but like the prime of like middle school, high school of playing role-playing games was like never playing D&D. Like it was all vampire and cyberpunk and Star Wars and other weird games, and I miss some of those more weird games.
Absolutely understandable. Absolutely understandable. There are so many games out there, especially now, and so many that I just want to freaking try, and I just have to figure out where I want to sort of aim my attention at.
There's so many I want to like expose my friends to. Like I think they would have a lot of fun with like Paranoia and.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean that's you well know that's part of the reason why I started this channel. Is to be able to do things like that. I fear not. I think you will definitely have you will be able to find or cause games to happen.
I'm sure it's just gonna take effort. So hopefully, I'm starting to put more effort in things. So we'll see how that goes.
I have heard of this thing called effort. I hear it's good when it's available. Very cool. Very cool.
I think so.
Well, I have to know how that goes. That's awesome. So, are we ready to jump into this?
Yeah. Yep.
Do some text adventure gaming.
I got a brief. I read some of what you sent me, some of it. So
That's okay. There was a fair amount. But yeah, we're going to take a look at Enchanter. We are starting this game today. This is the first of the Enchanter trilogy. And it's a neat little thing here. Right now we're just sort of looking over at the GUE tech site with information on it, and I'm looking at a couple of other things. It's in Enchanter, the first of a spellbinding series in the tradition of Zork. You are a novice magician whom fate has chosen to do single-handed combat with a dark and fierce power. But worldly weapons will avail you not, for your foe is the evil warlock who holds sway over the land. To defeat him, you will have to match your skills as a necromancer against his, casting spells you have learned from your masters in the Circle of Enchanters, and other incantations you will acquire as you proceed on your quest. If you succeed, you will be elevated to a seat in the illustrious circle. If you fail, your land will be doomed to an eternity of darkness. So, yeah.
Low stakes. Got
Low
it.
stakes. Yeah, not a lot going on. Enchanter itself is just sort of looking over the material. This is again Mark Blank and Dave Lebling, so the guys who adapted the mainframe Zork into Zork 1 through 3 and wrote the additional bits. Did this one as well. This was meant to be Zork 4 originally, and but it has a much bigger parser, supposedly. So in theory, there should be more happening with this one, as far as the ability for it to understand us. We'll see how it goes. Mm-hmm. This is the 9th game. We're effectively, well, there are a few games we're skipping for a few different reasons, but The Witness just didn't age well. Let's see, we played Suspended, and so we figured we needed and so Planetfall would have been next, but I think figured that we wanted a break from sci-fi because we'd just done Starcross and Suspended, and so we've gone to Enchanter. And I think we're probably gonna, once we finish this one, we might jump back to Planetfall maybe. But that'll, as we're working our way through the 80s. So this is set in the Zork universe. The game itself comes with these little things. There's a pin, I think, that comes in the box. I had the original. I did have this game. I played this game, but it has been a long time, and I do not have the box anymore, so I don't remember exactly what these things are. I think this is a pin that came showing sort of the Circle of Enchanters symbol. There. That comes in the box. And, this sort of shows this came on a floppy disk. we had that available to us, yeah. And
I had it. I don't know that I've ever played Enchanter. I've had Enchanter. Because I very specifically remember the floppy disk. We may have gotten it at like a PC convention when I was a little kid. Like my dad, I don't think we ever had the box for Enchanter, but I know I had the floppy disk.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, this one I can't remember. I got this later than I got a lot of the other ones, but I think it's one of the boxes that I left behind like a fool when I left my old house back, in the year 2001. But it comes with, the this section in text. There's a little letter, a little note you get from the Circle of Enchanters, and this brief history of magic by Gustar Wumax, and apparently was copied right in 927 GUE, which is after the fall of the Great Underground Empire. If we remember, as we look back, the Empire fell with the reign of Werb Flathead in 883.
Right.
I think that, but I think that this was, I think, one of the this was a game that I think came out only as a gray box game. It didn't have its own. This was one of the first that came out without without kind of its what was it called? I'm going to forget what it's called, but I'll be able to look. A folio release.
Yeah.
There were several, including Starcross, which is not pictured here. They came out in a folio release. But Enchanter did not. And so that was basically this year, 83, that they started doing this. So the upshot of this is that this, I think, was written before the front material in the Zork gray boxes that you see.
Right.
So this might be. This is the first sort of Zork adjacent game where the stuff in the material in the manual might be a little relevant, possibly.
Okay.
As I read through it, I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything that stuck out.
Yeah. Except, lore-wise, it does talk a little bit about it. Remember I sort of talked about sort of this interesting place that the Zork universe kind of sits in between magic and technology. And they actually, the interesting thing about this sort of treatise that they give us is it talks about that transition from believing there's just weird stuff to then actually using more scientific methods to describe everything. And it sort of tries to describe, and so, starting it says back in like 473 GUE, in the Great Underground Empire. It's, I was just mentioning that here, it's like, that they got to the point that they had sort of scam artists giving things like, claimed to be being able to give folks potions that could do reverse hair loss and draw trebled fromps and double Finucci, that kind of thing. And such appeals to public ignorance led King Duncanthrax in 672 GUE to write the Unnatural Acts, which provided stiff penalties for those convicted of selling unnatural or supernatural substances. And that's sort of, this is the same king that I think caused the Gru problem.
Right.
By going and invading that other continent and digging down.
Just a quick note. I have to step away for a second. Not audio.
Oh. Okay. So
yeah.
You'll still be able to hear me ramble on and on and on about it.
No. Continue. I am listening, but I do have to step away for a few moments.
Okay. No worries.
Okay. Cool.
But it's just it's interesting to me that they have this it's sort of funny that they have this going on, so they just basically talk about they start with these things that get nicknamed things like magic wands, and then magic scrolls, and just talks about the development of those things and how basically scrolls and spell books work, and how they quantified those things coming into the industrial age and all of that. The game, it was interesting to me just in that again, they said the date of this book is 927, and the present question mark that they claimed in Zork is 948. At least that's the last stamp in the library book, in that they they give you in Zork. In the gray box version of Zork. But sort of on the back of it, it gives the same sort of description of, you know, things that are happening, and an ancient prophecy. The other item that came with this is a little note from the Circle of Enchanters. If you truly are the one brave enough to face unspeakable peril, let your wizardly powers reveal our words. And apparently there's a spell you cast, and I don't know if you do this in-game or not. I know, because I remember in a later game there's a thing where it tells you a specific time to open an envelope, for example. But this talks about specific spells that you're going to run into. I won't read it out right now. Just in case, because I've forgotten. I've played this game before, but I don't remember if it tells you to read this at some point. Aha! Yeah, that sounds suspiciously like DRM. It does, doesn't it? There are, the high unstable days. Yes, there is the in the 80s again. They were starting to put in the manuals, in-game manuals, things you had to type in. But there's a thing that comes up in Wishbringer where it's like they tell you a specific time to open an envelope. I don't remember if that was a DRM thing or not. I'm thinking it might not have been, but who knows? Who knows? But anyway, if it is a DRM thing, then, you know, we have the information.
Look, the only reason I think as a child I learned any U.S. history was trying to get into Leisure Shoot Larry games. So
well, that'll do. Yeah.
Their age verification system was, do you know history?
Are you a fan of old media? Which I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like old movies? Or very occasionally, do you get this joke?
Right.
The LSL serves as entertainment. Yeah. Larry is the game that oddly encouraged kids to look things up. Yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing. But and I also remember that if you entered again, this was in the 80s, so if you said that you were like 70, I remember Leisure Suit Larry would ask you questions about Laurel and Hardy and things like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
it would give appropriate like time frame.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's a thing that like later games like You Don't Know Jack used to do in their like trivia games. Like you could like input some information and they would get like very specific.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Strangely specific.
Yeah. So it was very amusing. But let me see here if I can do this properly. There we go. Yeah, so I was trying to think if there was another thing I was going to look at in here. I don't know. That's most of it. But I did want to talk about spells just a little bit, because that's going to be a mechanic that comes up in this game.
Oh yeah, you're saying about the spell books and scrolls and everything, and it's not like the people who wrote this game over the past few years had been playing D&D and were at all inspired by how this might work.
Not at all. I think so. Yeah, I think somewhere they actually talked about it, that they were in, that D&D was kind of one of their things when they made Zork. But it's so like D&D, the magic system is very Vancian. Although one of these days, I will say that with more confidence after I have actually read some of Jack Vance's stuff. It's in my queue to read. I will get to it, but we're not there yet. But yeah, this would be AD&D 1, right? Yeah, thereabouts. I think that well, second edition was out. In
Yes.
no, wait, no,
Wait. Was it
not yet. It's a few more years.
It was,
it's,
it was still advanced.
87. Yeah, it was still Advanced
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, absolutely. But he was asking if it was the first 1E.
I
But
have a little sideboard.
okay.
All right. I randomly got texts from my cousin, my little cousin, the only girl cousin I have.
Yes.
And she's been like a sister to my brother and I growing up. And I got a text that she wanted to know if I had ever played D&D.
Oh, really?
And I went yes. And my brother replied with, "Is the sky blue?" And she responds with we were just watching The Big Bang Theory and they're playing it, and she was talking to her daughters and she was like, that looks like something your uncles, your older cousins, the boys would play. I was like, oh sweetie. I was like, not only was it the first role-playing game I ever played, your aunt, my mom, it was her copy of the game that I played. And my brother, and I just got a response from my brother that was mom's copy? I had no, everything makes so much more sense in my life now.
Ah! Understanding unlocked. Good.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All my mom reads are like fantasy romance novels, like since for the past 45 years. The entire time I've known her, that's all, like, the large majority of what she reads, and she reads several books a week still.
Oh wow, yeah. My mother did that too. She read fantasy and sci-fi with elements of romance a lot of times. And Sable Davis is saying that as a note that they game with the son of one of Gygax's group. Oh, cool.
Oh, neat.
Awesome. Yeah, as I found out like not too long ago, within the last couple of years anyway, that there are folks who have had games running for like the regular games running since like the 1970s.
Yeah.
It's like the same game that they've been playing in, and one of them streams. I think he's called Lord Gazumba, and I've seen his stream before. And he has guests come in and rotate, and still does a lot of stuff on his table. You know, and you get shots of that, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's neat. It's neat to see. I found out more about. I'm not going to dive into this right now, but I found out. Yeah. I also, having found out a little bit more about the, having watched the appropriate documentaries and learning more about how D&D came about. It's just sort of interesting to put things in context for me. It's just sort of interesting to see kind of what following the line of how things happened and what inspired what and that kind of thing. It's pretty coll.
Yeah. Sorry, I digress.
No worries.
About spellcasting.
Yeah, spellcasting, right. I was to say, Stable Days is saying, I'm not nearly so old, but I am always baffled by groups where they've never played a campaign which goes longer than a year. Yeah, that's a thing that happens a lot more. It's weird because it's almost like you're in a. I don't want to get. I can't. I should talk about spellcasting in a minute. It's a little weird because it's common. I'll just briefly say it is common for that to happen. Very common nowadays, for folks to think of a long campaign as like 6 months, or 3 months. Some folks will think of that as a long campaign, and a lot of that I think comes from. I'm going to be careful here. I'm not going to say it comes from the streaming world, but I think it's adjacent to it at least. Or the actual play world, because you have things happen kind of in seasons a lot of times. Because especially folks who want to kind of make it a little more like TV.
Especially people streaming their games and whatnot, they make them into like chapters or seasons.
And it's a lot easier to do it that way.
It is.
Because it's, you know, if you plan, if you're not like me and you actually plan these things out carefully, then and actually like and are like trying to make it kind of a thing, then it happens a lot that way. And then, you know, you have a lot of folks that just basically in their home games, it's like they can do it for a certain period of time, and that's perfectly fine. But most of the what they call adventures now that are released, especially, you know, by WotC and other folks, are like campaign length games and can go on for more than a year. So it's this weird sort of rock and a hard place people, I think, find themselves in with that, because it's harder to find. It's, you know, the more popular things are the longer ones.
Yeah, I feel like the majority of the stuff is either a long campaign or a one shot. There's like very little in between.
Yeah, well, yeah, or it's hard. Yeah, I mean, the most of I once did short campaigns. I remember that. I remember a few years back. But it's but yeah, I think that it was more the exception than the rule. A lot of times, or at least, and also with a handful of, especially the streamers that I know, a lot of them do shorter campaigns, but it just sort of it just sort of depends on what's available. And then we have hello Grismalkin. They ended their 10-year campaign. They're saying that mostly happened on New Year's Eve every year. He grew up with the kids, but they've always supported the idea that there was a lot of not active on the gaming parts of the net players just quietly rolling dice for years and years. I think so. I think that's fair to say. And in Stable Days' campaign, they say they use arcs, which gave them varied length pieces in the greater campaign. Yeah, but yeah, but it is. I think it's one of those things where it's more common than it seems, but also it is. A lot of what you hear about are going to be either really short things or really long things, pretty much, as far as the games go. I remember back when you would just grab a module and you'd go on for a certain period of time, and then maybe you would do another one if you felt like it.
The way my child brain worked for modules is I would like make a character, I would do a module, and then I would make a new character and do a new module. Like,
yeah. Understandable. But in any case, the reason we got into talking about this is because the spellcasting in this game is a little D&D-ish. So in this section about spellcasting in the rules, it's not a rules document, it's a manual. There we are. But it talks about that you may find spells are a way of performing magic. Each spell is known by the one-word name through which the spell can be used. Magic spells usually have a duration and sometimes a delay before they can be used again. Remember, magic spells are dangerous things, particularly to wizards. Wizards' heightened abilities in this realm carry the penalty of heightened sensitivity to spells cast by others. Sometimes a spell with which a mundane person would not even notice will have a profound effect upon you. As a certified, albeit lowly wizard, you have a personal spellbook in which you record the spells you are capable of using. Your book contains a few spells before the story begins. Others may be added during your travels. You may find spell scrolls here and there. These are extremely valuable objects. They may be used directly to cast spells, but so doing uses up the spell and scroll permanently. So it is much better to write them into your spellbook. Then you can use them many times. And then it talks about how to use spells. You write things from a scroll into the book using the Gnusto spell, which is the right magic spell. And there's a command called just typing in spells that'll show you what your spell situation is. And you have to memorize each spell. And they're specifically using the terminology of memorize instead of prepare, which came later.
Yep.
They it's like you memorize it and then forget it after you cast it. And you can memorize it more than once, each spell, if you want to. And then you use spells either by saying cast spell or on something, or just the spell's name and something. That's pretty much how the syntax for that goes for this. So that's the only really new part for this, is how these work. And so I think, unless there's anything else we want to kind of talk about or look into, then we should get going on this.
Sure.
All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going to bring us to the game, and we shall begin. So here we are. I will once again mention. Oh, one thing I do want to say before I get into it here. As usual, I'm going to be reading everything out. I'm going to hit the verbose command soon, so that when we hit different rooms, then it'll be there. Now, as I said before, I have played this before. It was a long time ago. So I may remember things at some point. So what I will ask you is, do you want me to head you off at the pass if I see we're about to possibly soft lock something, if I happen to remember, or do you just want to just revel in whatever it is we're doing?
No, if you remember something, that's fine. We can, I'm okay with rolling with, your memory of this is not going to be perfect.
It is not. I can guarantee that it will not be perfect.
Yeah, if you do remember something, and you know us, if there's a cliff, we'll jump.
That's fair. Yeah. That's what cliffs are for, after all.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into this. It must be the warlock Krill. The odd disappearances, the mysterious dissolution of regions sacred to the circle, the lessening of the powers. These could only be his handiwork. The circle gathers, and its leader, the esteemed Belbaz, reveals to them an ancient document which portends evil days much like our own. Krill's evil must be unmade, he begins, but to send a powerful enchanter is ill-omened. It would be ruinous to reveal over soon our full powers. A ripple of concern spreads over the face of each enchanter. Belbaz pauses and collects his resolve. Have hope! This has been written by a hand far wiser than mine. He recites a short spell, and you appear. Belbaz approaches, transfixing you with his gaze, and hands you the document. The other enchanters await his decree. These words, written ages ago, can have only one meaning. You, a novice enchanter, with but a few simple spells in your book, must seek out Krill, explore the castle he has overthrown, and learn his secrets. Only then may his vast evil be lessened, or, with good fortune, destroyed. The circle rises and intones a richly woven spell, whose many textures imbue the small darkened chamber with warmth and hope. There is a surge of power. You are sent with a capital S. Enchanter, Infocom Interactive Fiction, a fantasy story. I noticed that they've dropped that term that they were using the last couple of games.
What was it? The version of choose your.
I know it's. I want to remember what they called it, and of course now my it's not coming to me. I can find it. But it was let's see. Deadline was like the first one that did it. And Nope,
So
it's not coming up. That's all right. As we sit here trying to remember a proper noun.
What is this? We can't reveal the scope of our plans, so we're just sending you, woefully prepared peon. Go vanquish the great evil.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's
yeah,
right.
No, that's. There's a 50-year veteran, great evil that is here to take over everything and destroy life as you know it. Throw yourself at him.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure everything will be fine. It was this is gonna. It was like an inter something. It was not interactive fiction, but it was such a silly term.
Back cover or the back of the box.
Interlogic, that was it.
Interlogic.
Yes. I'm sitting here bouncing around the website trying to find it, and it suddenly popped back into my head. As it
3
does.
3 years later, you know what we don't need? Interlogic.
Yeah, basically. Like they picked it up and then they put it right back down again.
Yeah.
Anyway, Enchanter, Infocom interactive fiction, a fantasy story. Copyright 1983, 84, 86 by Infocom Inc. All rights reserved. This is a later version. Enchanter is a trademark of Infocom Inc. Release 29. We don't need to read the serial number. Fork! You stand at a point of decision on a road which makes a wide fork to the northeast and southeast, circling the base of the Lonely Mountain. I wonder where they got that name from, which looms high overhead to the east. This is
doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, similar to but legally distinct Lonely Mountain. A very long and winding road starts here, and stretches out of sight to the west through low, smoky hills. The sun is rising over the lands to the east. I'm going to start with the usual thing. I'm going to write verbose, so maximum verbosity. I don't think there's much point to saving immediately, but I guess I could. As if we want to make sure, if we want to save at 0 moves, just for the sake of saving at 0 moves.
And you already typed verbose.
I know. Well, yeah. Okay, fair.
you don't have to verbose it every time with that.
I don't remember to do that. Yeah. I guess if we want to look at our what do we want to look at our inventory and stuff?
I mean, we should look at our inventory. We should read our book and know what first spells that we have.
Fair enough. You're carrying a spell book.
Okay, so we're naked.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. That's good. I guess
Swinging in the breeze. I got
maybe
it.
just. I'm hoping we can assume wizard's robes, but it did tell you can go without armor, so it might be implied that you can in fact do this en natural if you so prefer. However, they did mention giving you the note in the text of the thing, so that might be the note that comes in here, which talks about spells. Actually, I guess let's look at the spell book first. I guess. Yeah. Just to examine spell book. The title is My Spell Book. The book looks pretty new, and it doesn't seem to have much written in it yet. There are some spells written in the book in glowing letters, with marginal notes about how to cast them and what their effects are.
Okay.
Before the text descends any further, guess what it's time for? The map.
Not the map.
Yes, they don't give us a map with this one. That luxury is gone. That went away with the robots that we played with last time.
Stupid non-future future.
I know, right? So, I guess we're going to start off here. I'm going to go ahead and add the room. As I bring out our old friend Trisbort. We have a fork in the road, and I guess I could. Didn't we do a thing where we just sort of? I can check it off saying start room, but I don't know if there was like a thing we did to the border or something that would indicate that this is where we start. Who knows? Anyway, we have that, and we have mountain to the east. Road starts here, stretches out of sight to the west through the low smoky hills. Sun is rising over the lands to the east. So, I'm guessing we might have the ability to go east and west. But it's hard to say. Mountains, road. Mountain, road. Okay. So,
I love the future. I'm gonna try this out.
Huh?
I was like, is there? Just a quick Google search. Like, is there an interactive fiction mapper available for like Android? And it made a recommendation. So I'm gonna open it up and take a look.
Oh, cool. I alas am of that type that I appreciate my Android phone. I appreciate my smartphone, but it is also infuriating for me to use apps when I have a keyboard in front of me. It's actually infuriating for me to use apps all the time, really, on smartphones. But that's just my problem.
I have a ridiculously sized new Galaxy Tab S10, S9. I don't know.
Oh.
It's ultra. It's a laptop replacement. It's a 14-inch tablet. It's stupid and also super powerful, and I've really been enjoying it.
Nice. Yeah. Unstable Days is telling us there's a web-based version of Trizport now too.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a Trizport app also.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And he's also saying smartphones are too small. I like my 27-inch screen. Me too. Damn it. That's the thing. They're tiny, and you have to like.
Yeah. When it's literally this big, it doesn't feel like it's too small.
Ye of the tablet. But let's see. So we have my spell book. I guess we should read the spell book.
Yeah. And we should. All right.
My spell book.
The blorb spell.
Blorb spell. Safely protect a small object as though in a strong box. The Knitful spell. Converse with the beasts in their own tongue. The Frotz spell. Cause something to give off light. The Gnusto spell. Write a magic spell into a spellbook. And
right.
Frotz is arguably, I think, the most popular spell in this entire series. At least culturally speaking.
Right.
Because that's the one that everyone remembers. I remember there was a... so I've mentioned this before. Infocom had a newsletter that I think was originally called the Status Line, and then they eventually started calling it the Newsork Times. They had puzzles in there, and for some of these puzzles, for these puzzles, you kind of had to know the Infocom games and what they were like, because, this was like people were eating, breathing, and sleeping adventure games, as I kind of was at the time, but I hadn't gotten any of the Enchanter series at the time that I was reading those, and so you actually had to know the names of some of the spells to solve some of the puzzles. And I would look at those and I'm like, huh? Oh.
Yeah.
Since this is after suspended, is there a completion rank based on your number of moves? Well, Well, I mean, there's they all have sort of scores, but I don't know if number of moves enters into it or not. It's a good question because Suspended did do that. It had more to do with the number of people that were dying. Score 0 out of possible 400 in 3 moves. It does tell you the number of moves. This puts you in the class of Charlatan. And I think the note that you receive actually just tells you about exactly the same information we just got.
Okay.
Which is
Right.
what the that you're being. They think an amateur can sneak in where a professional will be recognized. Let's see. In this note, they also, this is the one they also talk about. This is where they say that you have to, your vows to the Council of Elders. By your vows, you have cast aside the common protections of sword and armor. Therefore, you'll need many more spells to accomplish your quest. It's mostly it's fairly boilerplate quest giving stuff, essentially. The Circle of Enchanters of long ago foresaw this and wrote this note to a future amateur, basically. They've foreseen that a ruthless and powerful evil may one day seize the land, and so that's pretty much what it's about. Yeah, well, we will find out if the number of moves affects the ranking. But in any case, yeah. So here we are. I guess that what was it? Spells? Is that the command? There it is. The Nusto spell, the only thing you seem to have learned well after many years at the university, remains yours forever. Other than that, you have the Blorb spell once and the Fraught spell once committed to memory. Okay.
Oh.
That's what we have right now.
Okay.
What shall we do?
Well, we choose what, southeast or southwest, right?
I think it's east or west.
Yeah, because we're at a fork, right?
Oh, wait, no, it is. You're right. I'm sorry. A road which makes a wide fork to the northeast and southeast, circling the base of the Lonely Mountain. Okay, yes, I missed that part of the description. So yeah, northeast, southeast. Then there's also a winding road starting here and stretching out to the west through low smoky hills. So I think we have west, northeast, and southeast as our possible directions.
All right. Well, why don't we do, I guess, west first?
Okay.
Because it's the non. It's the odd direction out at the.
Yeah. Okay. We can do that. Long road. You're walking along the road. It wends its way through low hills, sparse forests, and occasional subsistence farms. To the west, things seem lighter and more pleasant. To the east, they seem oppressive and dark. A worn sign sits beside the road here. The deserted village is to the east. Ah.
I guess read the sign.
Okay. Just adding the long road to the map. I think you can go west from here. All right. Read sign. Why? Very philosophical sign.
I want to.
Yes?
I want to Gnusto Y into a spellbook.
Oh, okay. They don't know the word why. You can't inscribe a sign in your spell book?
There's the answer I was looking for.
Yep.
All right. But why?
I don't know. No way
All
to
right.
know.
All right. Wait.
I can't think of anything else to do here. Do you want to keep going west?
I mean, no. Of course, I want to go west. East seems depressing.
Yes, east is where the problems are. We can't go there.
East is oppressive and dark. Why would we go there? Let's see if we can't end the game horribly for the rest of the world quickly.
Yes, that'd be great. Long road. You're walking along the road. It wends its way through low hills. This is the same thing. The west things seem lighter and more pleasant. To the east, they seem oppressive and dark. A worn sign sits beside the road here.
Are you telling me we cannot escape our destiny? I'm gonna
Maybe
be
not.
very sad.
Should we try reading this one? Is it the same? R. The sun has now risen above the hills. Ah. It's a different it looks the same.
Why are you going this way?
Probably. That's what I'm guessing.
Shit. So dumb.
Can we keep going?
Yeah, sure. Let's read the sentence.
Okay, yes. Let's continue. Long road. You're walking along the road. Wends its way through low hills and occasional subsistence farms. To the west, things seem lighter and more pleasant. To the east, they seem oppressive and dark. A worn sign.
I will take this moment to remind you the up arrow is a quick access to previous commands.
Oh, right. Yes. That's fair. That's fair. Thank you for reminding me that. Is this what 80s railroading looked like?
I don't know how long this sentence is. So
Yeah,
I thought
fair.
I might save you some typing.
It's understandable. Thank you. This is what 80s railroading looked like. Yes, I seem to recall. Read sign. You. Hang on. I'm just gonna copy and paste this part of the map now. All right. We keep going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's.
All right. Yeah. Same description. Read sign. Going. I feel as though we've successfully predicted what this sign says. And I feel compelled to write it down each time. And going west again, same description. Going west. Why are you going west? Same description. When? Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I do appreciate that they're making this really long and painful.
Yep. It's important. Going west again, same description. The... Yep. The description, the description did say long road. It's true. It's true. Long road. Castle. Ah. So apparently there's a castle. Long road is they were not wrong when they said that it is a long road. West, long road. East, question mark.
Oh, we got one sentence.
Yes.
How far did you take this gag?
Will the next one say Burma shave? I think that's the next question. For people, my God. Let's see how far they take this gag.
Yeah.
Long road. There's a worn sign. Burma, yeah, there it is. They in fact, that is in fact the gag. West. Shave. Yes, there it is. Okay. I'd forgotten they actually did that. Yep. Does it go further? Long road. The sign is too worn to be read.
I feel like if we keep going west, that's all it's gonna be.
Probably. Yep. Yeah, this is probably an eternal loop.
Yeah. All right.
So let me go ahead and put this final room here. That is.
I didn't put it together, but I keep having shorts come up on things that I watch of the Stanley Parable. And
oh, do you?
Yeah, and it absolutely is just an extension of this. Like this humor. That's
pretty
all.
much.
That's all this
where it came from.
Is.
Just to give an idea, to folks, this is
the map so far.
pretty the map so far. It's a long road. So I'm actually very glad that we did it. And for anyone who may not get the Burma shave reference, I don't know if folks might be struggling with that who might not be terribly old and decrepit like myself. But they used to have these signs on the side of the road advertising a product called Burma shave. I believe it was a shaving foam, I think.
Yeah.
And it'd have these silly little signs that you would read them a little bit at a time. It was usually more than one word, but it was usually a couple of words, and at intervals as you were driving past. And that was the idea behind it. But I guess we'll restore here. Either that or we'll just continue going west in an eternal loop.
Yeah, I mean, we can restore.
I mean, do you want to keep going west?
No, hold on, wait. No. Check our score.
Oh yes, right.
Do we get a point for?
Nope.
No.
Still zero
right.
out of possible 400.
We can restore then.
All right. We're still charlatans.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Back to our pristine zero
no
move
fun.
game.
I feel like we should have gotten a point.
I know, right?
Like that bonus point, you know?
Precisely.
You tried to leave, you found out you cannot escape your destiny. Carry on.
Yes, exactly. So I guess we can go northeast or southeast now from the fork in the road.
What do you want to play a game? What do you think we're doing here? Enjoying ourselves?
Yeah, so the northeast and southeast circling the base of the Lonely Mountain looms high overhead to the east. And the sun is rising over the lands to the east.
Okay.
I don't know if we can just go directly east, run at the mountain, but you never know.
Yeah.
But where should we go?
We're at the fork. Let's go. I guess. Let's go southeast.
Okay. Here we go. Dusty Trail. It's a different description. The trail here turns dry and dusty. To the northwest is the fork leading to the long road, and the trail continues to the southeast. The sun is rising over the lands to the east. I guess this game has time in it. Because it involves the position of the sun in what we are doing. So keep going southeast.
Sure.
All right. Loop. The trail makes a hairpin turn here, swinging out to the northwest and northeast, where it enters a small village. Low, smoky hills stretch out to the west and south. The sun is rising over the lands to the east. Now this is a loop. And it has what did it say? Northwest and northeast. And possibly west and south. Because there are low, smoky hills that it talked about.
Right.
Where to?
Hairpin turn.
The village is to the northeast. We know that much. We might be able to go into the hills if we want to.
I mean, let's try the hills, and then if not, we can go to town.
We go west or south?
West.
Okay. You can't go that way. Okay.
Okay.
Same with south. I guess that was, yeah. I guess that was just a lie. So I guess we'll go northeast then.
All right.
Deserted village. This is the castle's village. Formerly, peasants lived here, going to their farm plots each day. Merchants and artisans made it a center of cultural activity. But now it's deserted, or almost. There is smoke rising from a particularly decrepit hovel to the south. A path travels through the village from the southwest to the northeast, heading towards the castle, and a less used trail heads north up the mountain. Ooh, okay. So you take these antlers off of the loop, and then on the map here, and then I will add the other thing. This is a deserted village. And we can go maybe south and north and northeast toward the castle. Here we go. Okay.
All right. Oh, I mean, south?
Okay. So, south to the hovel. It is dark and smoky in here, but this is a place of great disorder, and its odor is indescribable. A pile of rags sits near a small pot, which is bubbling and steaming over a tiny fire. The pile of rags sports a gnarled hand which busies itself with the noisome stew. A closer look reveals a withered crone on the other end of the hand. The creature looks you over keenly and speaks. I should have thought they would send someone more. He laughs in an unsettling way. They've all left. A great storm is brewing in the east, my friend, and all have fled before it. She starts to chuckle. Take this and be gone. With a wave of her hand, you find yourself reeling out of the door of the hovel, holding some sort of scroll in your hand. And we're back at the deserted village.
All right.
I'm gonna save. You're now in a post-crone environment.
Good. That's my preferred crone environment.
Yes.
All right. Let's look at our scroll.
Okay. Look at scroll. A scribbled scroll. The scroll reads, Resrov spell. Open even locked or enchanted objects. The sun has now risen above the hills.
All right. I mean, let's see if we can write it in our spellbook.
This Nusto Resrov. I need to add a T there. Your spellbook begins to glow softly. Slowly, ornately, the words of the Resrov spell are inscribed, glowing even more brightly than the book itself. The book's brightness fades, but the spell remains. However, the scroll on which it was written vanishes as the last word is copied.
Cool. Yeah, now we can unlock things.
Yes.
Crone, worth it.
Yep. We've officially I don't know if this game has a crone limit. I don't know how many crones there are available in the game, but it's good to know that we've had our initial crone encounter.
One crone is enough. Three always seem to be troublesome.
Yeah, there's a thing happening if there are three. I wanted to just see. Do you want to see what happens if you go back in the hovel, or do we?
Yeah, we can try.
Leave it. I'm just curious. Let's see. It is dark and smoky in here. This place of great disorder. A pile of rags sits near a small pot, bubbling and steaming over a tiny fire. A pile of rags sports blah blah blah. Crone at the other end of the hand. She booms at you. Are you here again? What a wizard! Her emphasis on the word wizard is filled with derision. What a wizard! Make a small effort, would you, to make your circle proud of you? The same horrible emphasis on proud fills you with revulsion. Go! You find yourself back in the village.
That's about what I expected.
Yeah, we've been shamed. And Unstable Deus says, actually, it makes sense there's a day-night cycle, as you need to memorize spells. That's fair.
Oh, yeah. So now we have no spells memorized.
Well, we have the couple we start out with. Hang on. We have Blorbs once and Frotz once.
Okay. All right.
Is there also a way to wait? Yes. It's like the other games. It's just the wait command. Don't know if they've implemented Z yet, but eventually also you can do Z and wait. So to the south, basically, I don't even really want to describe it as, it's not really even a room.
Yeah.
But it's just basically there's a crone.
Crone!
Crone! I wanted it to display the word crone, but it did not. How dare it. How many times can I get it to say crone? Ah, there it is. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
We have incroninated the line.
All right.
Okay.
I guess up. Not toward the castle. We should complete our circle around the mountain.
Okay, yeah, I think north is up the mountain.
Yeah.
Okay. Just do this.
I think it's just gonna circle the mountain, and then we have to go to the castle anyway. So.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Okay. So we're gonna head north. Mountain Trail. This spot halfway up the lonely mountain is desolate of vegetation. Short, stunted trees with branches empty surround you, and the air is heavy and smoke-filled.
Okay.
Mountain Trail. I don't know if the branches are important or the trees. They might be. Don't know.
Yeah.
The trees are mostly short and stunted. I assume climbing them does nothing. The trees are not suitable for climbing.
Alright.
Yeah. Take branch. Still have a silliness spell cast one. Yeah, I must have had a silliness spell. Oh well.
Alright. So, north.
North. Lonely Mountain. This is the top of the Lonely Mountain. Yeah, got there in 2 moves. In olden days, mariners had named it Signal Mountain for its glistening peak reflected the pale moonlight, providing an unmistakable landmark on unclouded nights. Good to know. The bald mountain face is made of a shining substance whose nature is unknown to you. Looking to the west, low hills stretch to the horizon, and small pieces of the long road can be seen winding their way to distant lands. To the east, far away, can be seen a great castle at the edge of the sea. 3 turrets it has, 2 old and still majestic, lie on either side of a third, cold, black as night, and squat as a toad. An evil smoke seems to emanate from this tower, shrouding the others in a darkening fog. A small mountain trail leaves the peak and descends to the south into a small village far below. I don't see any other ways out.
Yeah, and it doesn't really mention. There's no like signal things still here that it says.
Yeah. Not right now, at least. Maybe if we come here
Yeah.
and in the middle of the night, it might have something.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah.
So it's just on our way back? Right? Because we went north to get there, and it's just south back to the village?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh.
I don't think there are any other... At the last I tried to go north. At the last moment, you remember that you don't know a flying spell. Wait a minute.
Save.
Very important.
Down top. Yep, jump.
It's time. Wasn't that fun? Oh, no, wait.
Oh.
There we go.
There we go.
You execute a perfect swan dive into the rocks below. You have died. You awaken among the members of the circle. Belbaz the necromancer looks tired, and scattered about are the remains of the components of a spell of great healing power. The other members of the circle are pleased to see you revive, but worried by the setback. I think Krill is too powerful, says one. This inexperienced wizard will never defeat one so puissant as he. Quiet discussion ensues, with well-concealed acrimony beneath the surface. They really, I guess they found more word space in this game. Yeah. It feels like that. Debate ensues, with Belbaz returning frequently to the contents of the ancient manuscript. His wishes prevail, and it is agreed to send you back Eastern Fork. At a fork in the road, we're past to the northwest and southwest. Girdle the base of the lonely mountain. Oh, wait, this is for... Oh. Yeah, this is a different place. But I assume... The smaller path winds its way to the east. I assume that that's kind of where you can go from going... I don't know where this goes. Maybe that's from the fork.
Yeah. Yeah?
Interesting question. Do we want to restore, or do we want to just wander around here?
I mean, we can restore. We're going to have to go back around that way anyway, but yeah.
Okay. Actually, us just having died, would you be good with us taking a quick break?
Sure.
So that I may leap up and do various things. All right. We will be back shortly. We can take a quick little break. And now that we've achieved our first death.
Yes.
And
in the appropriate fashion.
In the appropriate fashion. And we will be back shortly to continue exploring. See you shortly.
Okay, sounds good.
We have returned, and we are going to restore the game now. Since we kind of knew where we were, I'm just going to go back to post-Crone. I think that was basically all we could see there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, I did do a quick Google search also, and apparently they did use Z Machine and C code for compression. Infocom Games did. I didn't have a time frame of when they were using it because they originally were doing it in what the fuck is the name of it? I want to say architecture. Assembly. I'm like, I used to know this. It was
Assembly
a core.
language.
It was a core thing. They were originally written in assembly and then quickly moved over to Z code. But I don't know
okay.
how quickly.
Yes, it was being talked about in chat during the break. Yeah.
Interesting.
There was once upon a time I remember I didn't know about assembly language until Sierra games came around, which they were also a lot of early Sierra games were written in assembly language.
Yeah.
And they used it for some of it, and they also developed their own thing on top of it. But they used to make a lot of jokes about assembly language in Sierra games, and so that's how I learned about it.
Yeah.
As a kid. I think I might have learned a little bit of assembly language in college, but I can't remember any of it. It's all gone.
I learned a little bit of assembly and a little bit of basic as a child, like elementary school and just enough to get my games to run on my Atari 800. Nothing more.
Yeah,
I specifically remember typing in lines of basic to get things to run.
yes. Yeah, no, yeah, as a kid, I learned some basic on my Texas Instruments, so that version of basic, and then didn't learn much in the way of other programming languages until much later.
Yeah.
And they've mostly faded away at this point, since I learned them around the year 2000. But I still remember things every now and then. It doesn't take much to look at it again and be like, oh yeah, that's how that works. A lot of stuff in C.
I look at some of the child's programming stuff that they have now, where like it takes like command cubes and you just block them in places where they belong, and like so it teaches kids like the basics of programming, and I'm like, that's so cool. It would have been so easy to just drag and drop code.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't have cubes back in the day. You had a keyboard and that was it.
You want to learn something? Here's a wall of text. You're welcome.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so we restored back to the deserted village. All right. So we're here. So we could, if we want, we can go northeast from here, or we can go around.
Yeah, I think you should go back around to the fork.
Back around to Ye Fork. Okay. So back to the loop, and southwest, back northwest to the Dusty Trail, and back northwest to the fork, and we shall head northeast.
Yay!
Unless we want to try going east, we can't. All right. Northeast, outside of shack. You are south of an old wooden shack, apparently deserted. The trail extends from northeast to southwest here, circling the lonely mountain which lies to the southeast. Interesting. Okay.
All right.
So I'll go ahead and note that down. You see, outside of shack, and like we can go south, and northeast. And I'm assuming that saying the mountain being to the southeast doesn't mean anything, but its own thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I see him. Yep.
So enter the check.
All right. We shall now. Hang on. All right, here we go. Oh, you're south of a wooden shack. Duh. It's to the north. I made that same mistake with Zork. West of house. West? Inside shack. The inside of the shack is a shambles. An overturned table and bench and a few broken windows remain. An oven is the only fixture that's even recognizable. The door is to the south. The top of a battered lantern is partially visible behind the overturned table. An empty jug lies in a corner of the room against the overturned table.
All right.
The lantern has followed us here.
Fucking lantern.
I know, right?
All right. So let's.
Lantern, oven, table, bench,
Open
lantern,
the oven.
jug.
Yeah, sure. Let's open the oven.
All right. Opening the oven reveals a loaf of bread.
Yay!
We seize the bread.
I mean, we can get the lantern and
That's true. Yeah.
and the jug.
Oven. No spell would help with that. But battered lantern taken. Jug taken. I read something. I'm remembering now that things when you do the take all command, it will not take things that are inside. When you use the all command at all, it won't refer to things that are inside of other things. For some reason, it does specify that in the manual.
So we still have to get the bread. So we have to get the bread separately.
Get bread. We now have the bread.
Okay.
Examine the bread. There's an entire loaf left.
Ooh.
We're gonna need to eat and drink in this game, aren't we?
I hope not.
Examine jug. The jug is empty. Examine lantern. The lamp is made of brass and it is old and battered. It doesn't seem likely that any use can be made of it. Interesting.
I feel like we're gonna get like a repair spell at some point.
Maybe.
Or a mend.
Or we could just cast Frauds on it and let it just...
Yeah.
Let it just magically shine out.
We can see how long that lasts. Fraud's the lantern.
Yeah, okay. There's an almost blinding flash of light as the battered lantern begins to glow. It slowly fades to a less painful level, but the battered lantern is now quite usable as a light source.
Perfect.
Regarding lantern, challenge accepted.
Sounds like my life.
Yeah, that would be really embarrassing. Yeah.
Here's this thing. It's garbage. We should throw it out. No.
I know, right? It'd be really embarrassing if you could just turn the lamp on. Broken, most likely beyond repair. Okay. Now we can use it as a light source.
All right.
Perfect.
We have a lantern.
Yay. Anything else we want to do here?
No, I don't. I didn't notice anything.
Okay. Right now, you've been enchacinated. All right. South. Back outside the shack. And I guess we can keep going northeast.
Yep.
Trail. The trail turns a corner here, bending out of sight to the southeast and southwest.
Yeah.
The ground is higher here than to the south, allowing you to make out the top of the Lonely Mountain, shrouded in clouds. No path from here leads up the mountain, however.
All right. So southwest.
Yep. Well, southwest would go back to where we were.
I meant east.
Yeah, that's right. Trail. And I'm just going to go ahead and make with the things. All right. So southeast. Trailhead. You're on the northeast side of the Lonely Mountain, walking a narrow path through rolling hills. On one side of the path is a sign, and behind that, to the northeast, a winding path through the thick undergrowth. The trail continues to the southeast.
All right. Let's read the sign.
Yes. Yes. Just adding this room. Reading the sign. Shady Brook Trail. Old Lingolf House, 1,000 feet. Interesting. I guess that path to the northeast leads to the old Lingolf house.
All right. Sure. Let's head over there.
All right. Shady Brook. The trail ends here. A ruined stone foundation marks the site of the old Lingolf house, which presumably was a monument of some sort. The trailhead is off to the southwest, and a small brook flows slowly by. Interesting. Okay. It's a ruined stone foundation.
All right.
All this, I guess. And the brook.
I mean, we can check out the foundation. We can check out the brook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Examine foundation. You see nothing special about the foundation, but it knows the word foundation. Examine brook. The brook runs slowly through thick vegetation. Water! Water is here.
Oh, you want to fill the jug?
Yeah. Here we go.
Hey, all right.
Jug is now full of water.
We
So
have
that, I
the
guess,
basics of survival: bread and
Yes.
water.
Perfect. At least now we know where to get the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that anything else you want to do here?
I guess not. I'm stuck in my own world where this is the name of the original house in Zork. And it's just been reduced to
Just the foundation.
just the foundation.
No, no sign of a mailbox or anything.
Yeah. I was a little
ages
sad.
later.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying like Zork is before this. Well before this.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, is Zork after this? I think in the timeline this is happening. Actually, I don't know for sure. This might actually be happening at roughly the same time as Zork. Maybe. Yeah, there is something a little weird about the timeline, because this does, I think this trilogy at some point interacts with the adventurer from Zork, maybe? I remember hearing that. But I can't remember what the the timing of it is, or how that works.
Okay.
Yeah, Zork also has a weird timeline. Yes, that's very true.
Yeah. Do not give us another time machine.
Yeah. Oh, that won't end well for anyone.
We spent so long. We were so creative, and the game was so not. Comparatively.
Oh, hell. Well, never mind. Let's not worry about things I've suddenly remembered. Shall we?
Yeah.
I guess we'll go
we're
back.
Going back. Yeah.
Yeah. It might not
Try
even be in
southeast.
this game. Southeast. Can't go that way, but we can go southwest.
I
Back
meant
to
from.
from here. And trailhead, and you want to go southeast from here?
Yeah.
Eastern Fork. There we are. You're at a fork in the road where paths to the northwest and southwest girdle the base of the Lonely Mountain, and a smaller path winds its way to the east. There we are.
I assume if we go southwest, we'll be at that village. That's where we'll connect.
Maybe? Yeah, I don't know. We never went northeast from there. Maybe. Because the castle's around somewhere. And Unstable Deus is saying, another time machine? Why do you need another one when you already have a perfectly good one already?
Perfectly good.
Strong
words.
Sort of qualify that. Actually, we found out exactly what year it was when we used that time machine.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. Oh well. Not important. Anyway, Eastern Fork. Let me go ahead and.
It was 700 something, wasn't it?
It was in the
yeah.
900s.
No, you know what? I don't remember.
Yeah, present day is in the 900s somewhere, but and I know that the I think it's in the 940s. I think it's like 948 or something like that. But for Enchanter, the only indication of a year is in the front material, in that the book that comes as part of the game, and it was published in 927, and that's the only date you get. So this could be before Zork happens. Don't know. But that said, I'm gonna go ahead and add the Eastern Fork.
Okay.
And go ahead and.
So we should go southwest and hopefully complete the loop.
Yeah, confirm. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. We'll find out. All right. Southwest. Village outskirts. You're on a road which enters a small village to the southwest and comes to a fork to the northeast. The lonely mountain looms above, but there is no path from here which ascends the mountain. Ah. Okay. We have more. We have another room. This is going to be very chaotic right now. Outskirts. Because it's just, you never know how many rooms they're going to give you.
True.
I'll clean this up in a bit. I presume that southwest will get us to where we were. But we can confirm that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Deserted village. There it is.
Okay.
This is the castle's village. Decrepit hovel to the south. Yeah. Okay. Southwest to northeast, heading toward the castle. Yes, good. We have confirmed that this loops back around. I'm just going to connect everything up real quick. And we'll be good. Okay. There we are.
Perfect.
Yes. just messing with the map. I guess we'll head back.
Yeah.
Village outskirts, northeast, Eastern Fork. And so we have the smaller path that winds its way to the east. There's probably a reason why they dumped us here before. Yeah. Let us head east. I guess I'll save again. East. Western Road. You're on an east-west road which wends its way through the dark, rolling hills of this land. To the west rises a mountain. To the east stands a high castle with dark towers. Your mouth is getting rather dry.
You want to start by sipping water?
We could just die of thirst if we wanted to.
We could.
Probably not helpful.
These wizards get real annoyed real quick.
That's true. If they don't have their drinks. He said, taking a sip of his drink.
Yeah, we're definitely sympathy drinking just now.
Yeah. Do we want to drink some of the water? Or
Sure.
All right. The delicious spring water tasted great, and there's lots more where that came from. The jug is nearly full. Okay, good.
Okay.
Dying of thirst is going to happen at some point anyway, I expect. Yes. We keep going?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't see anything.
Yeah. There's the east-west road. Heading east, outside gate. You're outside the western entrance to the castle. To the east stands an iron gate which is closed and chained. A winding road starts here and proceeds to the west. Yes.
All right.
Okay. Not much to report here. Just the gate.
So we'll assume we have to examine the chain, see that it's locked, and use our unlock.
Ah, yes. The iron gate is closed. Examine chain. I mean, if I can learn how to spell. There we go. There's nothing special about the chains. Open gate. The gate is secure. It cannot be unlocked. The iron gate is locked. We have a spell for this.
Yep. We need to memorize it.
Yes, that's true. Okay. Oh, sorry. I restored. Okay, let me put it back in the spell book. I restored back to before we put it in the spell book.
Right.
We'll Nisto Rezrov. And
Rezrov
we'll
gate.
learn Rezrov. You have to learn it first.
Oh, yeah.
Using your best study habits, you learn the Rezrov spell. And now we will Rezrov the gate. The chains of the iron gate fly into the air and vanish. The gate flies open, and a blast of cold air fills your lungs. Oh, our score is 55 somehow now. I'm not sure what we were getting points for before. I'm sure we got points for some other things.
It was like picking up the bread and filling the jug of water, I think.
Yeah. Maybe getting the scroll from the crone. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. We should probably learn that spell again, because that seems like it might be a good one.
Okay. Let's see. We can learn Rezrov. And using your best study habits, you learn the Rezrov spell. Do we want to relearn? Let's see. We have. I think we have one blorb prepared. Do we want anything else?
I don't think so. We're carrying the lantern, so we already have light. So I don't know that we need to do that one.
I need to fill our heads with Knitfall. I mean, we don't have it memorized. But we have it. We've rememorized Rezrov. We have the blorb spell once. Rezrov once. Do we want to memorize Knitfall, or do we want to just do that when the time comes? If the time comes.
I think if the time comes is fine.
Okay. Yeah. I have no idea if we have slots at all. I don't know if there's a limit to this, but
yeah.
I don't know. There might be. Okay. Well, here we are. Shall we go through the gates?
Yeah. Continue east.
Here we go. Inside gate. As you pass through the gate, you feel that your mind is being probed. After a moment, it is released or perhaps discarded as uninteresting. Ah! That's how we get it. They know that we're an amateur. Inside gate. You are just inside what appears to be the main entrance to the castle. An iron gate standing wide open looms to the west. Through it, a narrow road can be seen winding through low smoky hills. Before you, to the east, is a huge open courtyard. To the north and south are archways leading to the interior of the castle. Okay.
All right.
So I will go ahead and draw these things on the map. Inside gate. And basically north, south, east, and west are our directions.
All right.
What do you think?
Either courtyard or...
Yeah, I mean that's I guess the most obvious thing.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna save. All right, east. Courtyard. This is the westernmost point in a large open courtyard. The huge entrance gate to the castle looms ominously to the west. The courtyard widens as it proceeds to the east, where a large ivy-colored temple stands. On either side of the temple are small towers. Far beyond the temple, high above, are two large towers marking the corners of the castle. A squat dark turret hunches between them, blackening the sky around it. A small path leads into the castle to the south.
All right.
Okay. There are several things here. And the only obvious exit, I guess, is to the south, unless we like go into the temple, which I guess is to the east. There we go. We have the south and the east. I think we could go to either one.
Sure, let's go east.
You going east? Okay.
Yeah.
Courtyard. You are in the center of a large courtyard which surrounds you in all directions. Directly in front of you to the east is a large temple flanked by two smaller towers. Behind the temple can be seen the two eastern towers of the castle, shrouded in fog, and the single dark turret, black as night and sending dark streams of smoke into a lowering sky. From the temple comes a howling, haunting chant. There's people in there. There's something in there.
Okay.
Didn't realize the temple was as far away as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can keep going unless we want to look at the towers, but...
Yeah, you can't see any towers here. What? Turret. There's nothing special about the turret.
Alright. Maybe because they're small. Look at the smaller towers.
Look at smaller tower. Doesn't know smaller.
Okay. Alright, never mind. I give up. Let's go east.
Alright, let's go east. Let's go find out what they're chanting about. Temple. Oh, this went fast. Temple. Everything you see is gray and lifeless, as though covered with a veil of ash. Sound is muted, and there is a faint, acrid odor. This is the interior of a huge temple of primitive construction. A few flickering torches cast a sallow illumination over the altar, which, atop a row of stairs, is still drenched with the blood of human sacrifice. Behind the altar is an enormous statue of a demon, which seems to reach towards you with dripping fangs and razor-sharp talons. I wonder if it's the same demon. It's that same demon from Zork 2. Two open doorways lead out of the temple to the east and west, while two wooden doors stand at the north and south. A mass of hunched figures in the temple are chanting a haunting tune. They don't seem interested in your presence. A low noise begins behind you, and you turn to see hundreds of hunched and hairy shapes. A guttural chant issues from their throats. Near you stands a figure draped in a robe of deepest black, brandishing a vicious dagger. The chant grows louder as the robed figure approaches the altar. As the shapes grab you, the figure in black speaks. Take the victim to the tower. I shall prepare for the sacrifice. The figures, whose form you can barely guess, take you from here through the northern door and into a prison cell. They take your possessions from you and close the door with a crash. Cell, this is a small prison cell in the north tower of the temple. Hideous shapes can be seen through the iron-barred window in the prison door. From the temple, a blood-curdling chant can be heard.
Excellent.
Yep. Interesting. That's very interesting. There's a reason why that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Because a thing has occurred to me that I don't think is a memory necessarily. But
we're in a tower. Cell. And those things are still outside.
yeah. The funny thing about it, yeah, I don't feel like this gives anything away because I don't actually, this isn't something I'm remembering, so I don't know if this has any bearing, but I feel like it's probably it was a good move to memorize that opening spell again.
The opening, yeah. They took all our stuff, so light may have been a good one to have memorized also.
Oh, that's true. I don't know if this connects directly to the cell. If the temple connects directly to it.
He took us to a tower, so
probably
not.
Okay, yeah. They took us through the north door, but we ended up in it. Okay. So,
let's
shall we proceed from here, or do we want to restore back?
We can proceed from here.
Okay. Cell. So this is a small prison cell in the north tower, yes, of the temple. Hideous shapes can be seen through the iron-barred window in the prison door. In the temple, a blood-curdlings chant can be heard.
All right.
So, nothing special about the cell.
Examine the door.
The north cell door is closed. Open door. The door is locked from the outside. Even if you could open it, the guards would undoubtedly return you with little difficulty. A host of hunched and hairy shapes appear through the window. The cell door opens and you are marched solemnly to the temple, and from there, up the steps to the altar. The large black figure approaches menacingly. He reaches into his cloak and pulls out a great glowing dagger. He pulls you onto the altar, and with a murmur of approval from the throng, he plunges the blade into your heart. You have died. And then we get replayed the death sequence. We end up at the revivification sequence by the circle, and they send us back to the Eastern Fork where there's a bunch of stuff there.
Okay. I don't think any of the spells that we have will save us from that fate currently. So
we could
should
try
probably
opening
restore.
This... Okay. Yeah,
I mean, it just said like when we examine the door, like if we open the door, they're just gonna get us anyway.
But I do wonder if it's a question of the number of moves, though. Is the only thing.
I don't think so. I think it was going in.
All right. So let's go back earlier. Here we are.
All right.
And we are at the. We're back at the Eastern Fork.
So let's go forward and
back at move 40.
Yeah.
Okay, the Eastern Fork.
We just go east and east.
We just go east. Yeah. All right. So heading east, mouth getting dry, drink water. East outside the gate. Iron gate is locked. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. We forgot, you gotta Nusto the Rezrov. And we gotta learn the Rezrov.
Alright.
And then we gotta Rezrov the door.
Yeah.
Wait. There's no door.
Gate.
Gate! Here we go. And the gate flies open.
And learn. Let's go ahead. What can we learn?
Yes. Okay, hang on. Let's see. Rezrov, Blorb, Knitfall, Frats, and we always have Nusto.
Alright, so yeah.
One of each?
Yeah, one of each.
Okay. And we already have Blorb memorized. We start with that. Oh. So Rezrov, Knitfall, and Frats have been learned. You have so much buzzing around in your head, though, that it's likely that something may have been forgotten in the shuffle. Ooh.
Alright, so spells.
Knitfall, Rezrov, and Frats. You might only be able to have 3 at a time.
Okay.
We dropped Blorb, which was the protect a small object as though in a strong box.
I feel like Blorb might be more useful than the light spell currently.
Okay. Sure, so what we'll do, just to save the move, we'll learn Rezrov and Knitfall. There we go.
Okay.
So we now have Rezrov, Knitfall, and Blorb.
Let's head east and I guess go north.
All right. Inside gate. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so inside gate. Once again, mind being probed. Discarded as uninteresting. We're back in the inside gate, and we can go north and south and east. Mm-hmm. And we're heading north. Pebbled path. You're on a long pebbled path stretching out to the north. To the south, the path continues through an open arch into an open area. So we're on a pebbled path. Going north and south.
Okay, keep going north.
Tower. This is the base of the northwest tower of the castle. A winding staircase leads up into the tower itself, and passages lead from here to the east and south.
All right.
Northwest corner. Northwest tower. And I think that means we can go back southeast or up, probably.
Yeah. Or in. Yeah. And why don't let's go in. Up.
Jewel Room. This fabulous room commands a magnificent view of the Lonely Mountain, which lies to the north and west. The room itself is filled with beautiful chests and cabinets, which once contained precious jewels and other objets d'art. These are empty. Winding stone stairs lead down to the base of the tower. There is an ornamented egg here, both beautiful and complex. It is carefully crafted and bears further examination.
All right.
Is the egg come for us again?
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't be the same egg, could it? What does it want with us? Anyway.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Examine egg, I guess.
Right.
The ornamented egg is both beautiful and complex. The egg itself is mother of pearl, but decorated with delicate gold traceries inlaid with jewels and other precious metals. On the surface are a lapis handle, an emerald knob, a silver slide, a golden crank, and a diamond-studded button carefully and unobtrusively embedded in the decorations. Oh, God. These various protuberances are likely to be connected with some machinery inside. The beautiful, ornamented egg is closed. That's a lot.
All right.
This is a puzzle.
I guess let's try playing with the egg.
Okay.
So
I'm just going to write down a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to, I had a column in my notes for spells, but I'm realizing it might be unnecessary. I'm going to write down some things about this egg. So let's see. Lapis handle.
Emerald knob.
Emerald knob. Silver slide. Golden crank. Diamond studded button. Good Lord. So, I'm gonna save egg. All right. So, I guess we'll try starting by opening the egg. That seems to be the problem.
Okay. I think you should turn the crank.
Okay. Turn crank. The golden crank moves to the open position after some resistance and a few odd noises from the machinery, which resides inside the egg.
The open position? Okay.
Yeah. I guess the crank has an open and closed position.
Okay. Let's examine the butt.
The diamond-studded button has not yet been pushed. Examine each thing. The golden crank has been wound.
Okay. Examine the slide. Or handle, yeah.
The slide has not yet been shoved. What do you think?
I think we should.
There are only 24 possible combinations.
I think we should slide.
Okay. Push slide. The silver slide moves to the open position after some resistance and a few odd noises from some machinery, which resides inside the egg.
I think we should turn the handle? Was that?
Well, we turned the handle first.
No, we didn't turn the handle. We turned the crank.
Oh, the crank, right.
Yeah.
Turn handle. Lapis handle moves to the open position after some resistance and a few odd noises from some machinery which resides inside the egg.
Alright, and then push the button.
Push button. Diamond-studded button moves to the open position after some resistance and a few odd noises from the machinery which resides inside the egg. Open egg.
Yeah.
That seems to be the problem. Wait, did I math wrong? 24, not 120. 4 times 3 is 12. Times 2 is 24. And then times 1, but that's redundant. And I guess that assumes that you only do each thing once. So
yeah.
Actually, yeah, if you do...
Is there a fifth thing?
Is there a fifth thing? Because handle, knob, slide. Oh, wait, yes, there are 5 things.
Oh.
Handle, knob, slide, crank, button. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
It's 120. Yeah, so there's only 120 combinations. There are a lot of things. Wait a minute. So, hang on. Which thing did we not... The knob. We didn't do anything with the knob.
Oh, yeah. Gotta turn the knob.
Turn the knob. Just in case we happen to have hit on the correct combination immediately. The emerald knob moves to the open position. After some resistance and a few odd noises from the machinery which resides inside the egg falls open, revealing a shredded scroll inside. Oh, it's shredded. Your stomach is starting to grumble. Counting is hard. We have a whole unit on it in discrete math at the university level. Understandable. Hang on. Read scroll. The scroll is damaged beyond readability. You can make out the word summon in the title, but that's all. No! Okay.
All right.
I propose we take the egg with us and wait until we find a clue about how to open it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Because I feel as though... I hope there's going to be a clue at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
That or we just do this another 119 times. Oh, wait a minute. Damn it. Okay. I've just there's a trial and error thing we could do that would not take. We could, if we wanted, we could try just the other 4 to see which one. It's okay. I'm sorry. Let me explain. The description might change if we're doing it in the right order.
Right.
So what we could do, see, we started with the crank. If we try starting with each of the other 4 and the description is the exact same, we'll know we need to get more, something
info
from somewhere.
Yeah, that's fine. We can try that real quick. It's only 4.
Yeah, so that's only 4 times, and then it only becomes more times if this works.
Right.
So we did the crank. So I guess I'll do the handle first next, and we'll see. Turn handle. Resistance and a few odd noises. So that's not it. Turn knob. Resistance, a few odd noises. Same description. That's not it. Push slide. Resistance, few odd noises. And push button. Yep, no, it's the same. Okay. So that's not the answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have the egg, we can do whatever we want.
Alright, can we go any further up, or is that all that's here?
I think that's all. Yeah, you can't go any further up.
Alright, let's head over to the next tower.
Alright. So tower, we're at the northwest tower of the castle.
East
and south, so we go east. Hall of Mirrors 1!
Oh, goody.
Yay! This is the western end of the Hall of Mirrors. The hall itself is astounding and not a little bit confusing. To be sure, its northern wall is glass, but it does not seem to reflect anything within the hall. Rather, it seems to be a window on another world. The other world appears to be a large underground labyrinth filled with tunnels, caves, and peculiar rock formations. Window.
All right.
So, do we look at the mirrors, I guess?
Sure.
The scene behind the mirror is an underground landscape.
Okay.
I
feel like we need more.
We touch the mirror, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Fiddling with a mirror has no desirable effect.
yeah.
We just keep going?
Yeah, let's keep going east.
Okay. Hall of Mirrors 2. This is a spot within the long Hall of Mirrors. The hall itself is astounding and not a little bit confusing. To be sure, the northern wall is glass, but it does not seem to reflect anything within the hall. Rather, it seems a window on another world. The other world appears to be a large underground labyrinth filled with tunnels, caves, and peculiar rock formations.
Yeah.
Labyrinth? The scene is an underground world, quite dissimilar from your own. Interesting.
All right. I would say, yeah, we'll keep going east.
Okay. Hall of Mirrors 3. Same description. Looks like. Yep.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
Wonder
no,
how many
let's
of
keep
these
going.
they have. Hall of Mirrors 4, same description. And the only reason that I can think of these as different rooms is because they are named differently. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is the eastern end of the Hall of Mirrors.
Oh, okay.
So I missed that. But the rest of this description is the same.
Okay.
So
Well,
we
yeah.
might.
So we'll keep going. We'll keep going. We should get to the tower,
Yeah.
the eastern tower, northeastern tower.
North Gate. This small open area stands at the old north gate of the castle, now badly rusted. Castle's bigger than I thought. Through the gate, a forest can be seen. To the west, a hall glows with light, and to the south, a dark castle can be re-entered. A narrow passage to the east leads to the base of the northeast tower. There it is. Your stomach is starting to grumble. Unstable Deus is asking, can we change what's being viewed? In the mirrors?
There didn't look to be like any controls yet.
There might be. I just don't,
Yeah.
don't know what it is yet. So, we go ahead and write down the north gate. Let's see. Lookity. So let's see. North gate of the castle now badly rusted. Might be a way out. Don't know. A forest can be seen to the west. The hall glows with light. That's the Hall of Mirrors. To the south, a dark castle can be re-entered, and a narrow passage to the east leads to the base of the northeast tower. So I guess we just go east from here to do that. Okay.
All right. We can try to fiddle with the gate.
Okay. Examine gate. The gate is closed.
Open the gate.
Open gate.
Rusted shut.
I would assume. It is rusted shut. Do we Resurov the gate?
Sure.
The rusted north gate magically creaks open far enough for you to leave.
Oh, all right.
Resurov is a very useful spell.
Yeah. We should learn that. We should learn it again and save.
Yes, that's a great idea.
North gate open. Alright. I kind of want to check out the other tower before we go into the forest. So.
Okay. Alright, so that's to the east.
Or maybe all the towers. And
Yeah.
maybe just circle the castle.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, east. Guarded door. A more incongruous place than this would be difficult to believe. The room itself is nothing more than a small room at the base of the northeast tower with a narrow passageway entering from the west. Standing in front of you to the north, however, is a door surpassing anything you could have imagined. For starters, its massive lock is wrapped in a dozen 6-inch thick iron chains. In addition, a certain 5-headed monster sporting razor-sharp spears for tongues seems to be embedded within its heavy oak frame. One is almost embarrassed to mention the gargoyles spewing flame and sulfurous ash, which ornament either side of the door, or the 97 slimy, groping tentacles, which taunt you ever closer to certain death. A sign floating serenely above the door and glowing hideously in purple letters offers the following rude statement. Don't bother. I get the feeling they don't want people to go into this door. I don't know. Sorry.
I can take that advice currently. I think.
Wow, that's a statement. Yeah. That is a secure door.
A ghost-roll middle finger extends through the door, just in case you haven't gotten the point across.
Yeah. And yet, should we leave it alone, or do we want to mess with the door?
I mean, obviously, we have to unlock the door immediately.
Oh yes, exactly.
We just saved. It's fine.
The guarded door is closed. Okay. Here, let's Resurov the door.
Yeah.
As you cast the Resurov spell, the door shudders briefly, and a few tentacles pause in the air, unending motion. The two gargoyles look at each other, perplexed. After a tense moment, the sign above the door flashes briefly. Fat chance! It almost worked.
Yeah, I don't know that we have anything else.
Gargoyle, about door. Talk to gargoyle. You can't talk to the monster? Well,
That's rude.
maybe we can.
He's got a gargoyle wife at home.
I see nothing special about the monster. There's a spell we could use to talk to the monster, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it counts as an animal.
Let's try.
Yes.
Is it?
You're becoming quite hungry, it says.
Live full.
Should we eat some bread before we do anything? Or?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Alright, we'll eat some bread. That tastes great. There's a whole lot left of it, too. Okay. See, Knitfall. They're in Knitfall. And we shall Knitfall the monster? Or the gargoyle?
Yeah. One of them.
Monster. It seems to have no effect on a monster.
Right.
Dang it. They're in Knitfall. Oh, Oh, was that twice?
Maybe it didn't use it because it didn't use it because it didn't work.
Oh, well, no, I think something else fell out there.
Oh.
Maybe. Knitfall Gargoyle. No effect on a monster. Okay. Well, never mind. I'm just going to restore.
Yeah.
And come back in there if we want. There we are.
All right. And there's no way out south?
Let me see. No, we can try.
Yeah.
Can't go that way. No.
Oh. All right. Well, let's go explore the forest.
Okay, let's do that. I don't know why I feel the need to restore. It's the lazy way out. Okay. North Gate. Forest. You are in a dark forest, just north of a rusted gate. Except to the east and south, the forest is thick all around you. Discarded beneath a nearby tree is a slightly crumpled scroll. You hear a rustling in the brambles nearby, and you catch a glimpse of something small and furry as it scurries away. Ah!
Oh, we can talk to that. All right. So we can get and uncrumple the scroll.
Yes. Hang on, I need to add these rooms. Before I forget.
Oh, right. The guarded door room and the
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah. Guarded door.
With the description, I want unguarded door.
This unguarded door. Perfect.
Perfectly normal. Nothing to see here door.
Absolutely no problems with this door. Forest. There's a scroll. And a creature of some kind. Here we go. Okay.
Alright.
Do we grab the scroll first, or
Sure.
follow the creature? Okay.
Let's grab the scroll first. I mean, he already...
Taken.
Read the crumple scroll.
Okay. Read scroll. Scroll reads, Rebuff spell, repair willful damage.
Alright.
It might come in handy at some point.
Yeah.
I guess we'll transcribe that.
Yeah.
Alright. Nisto. Rebf. Alright. So ornately the words of the Krebs spell are inscribed, glowing even more brightly than the book itself. The book's brightness fades, but the spell remains. However, the scroll on which it was written vanishes as the last word is copied.
Yeah. Hey! Call it. We kind of got a mend type spell.
Yeah. It repairs willful damage, at least.
Yeah.
So maybe if that other scroll gets torn up, we can fix it. Maybe. I don't know if this spell would work on another scroll. Hard to say. So shall we, do we go east? I guess that's the only other way out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna save again because we just put a spell in the book. Swamp. You're in a thick forest, shading into a deep and miasmic swamp. The ground is very wet and boggy here, and footing is treacherous. Lily pads cover the surface of the water, and frogs abound. Things look drier to the west. The sounds of frogs and other swamp dwellers fill the air. Oh.
You want to talk to a frog?
Yeah, sure. We can talk to a frog. I don't think there's any other direction to go from here.
Yeah.
At least not an obvious one. That there. Okay. We must learn
I think
can't
we have
remember.
one. Yeah.
And
I know.
spells. Lorb, Knitfall, and Rezrov are committed to memory. Becoming okay. We'll eat some bread. And what's the book? The thing spell in the book.
Nipfall.
Knitfall. It is Knitfall. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Knitfall frog.
Knitfall frogs. One of the frogs looks at you for a moment, and you look at it. Hello, it says. The sounds of frogs and other swamp dwellers fill the air. The frogs say, "Look under the lily pad." Under the lily pad. Okay.
There you go. So look under the lily pad.
Okay. There's a damp scroll here, which you take into your hand. Sounds of frogs and other swamp dwellers fill the air. The frogs are discussing the Interlogic series of prose adventures. Ah, we couldn't get away from Interlogic. Curse them. The sun starts to set behind the lonely mountain in the west.
All right. Read the scroll.
Read scroll. Scroll reads, Fleesh spell. Change a creature into a small amphibian. The sounds of frogs and other swamp dwellers fills the air. The frogs are discussing the recent disturbing rise in the number of predators in the swamp.
All right.
Okay. I guess we'll Nusto the Cleash.
Yeah.
Just have a new language here you learn. Okay. And so that is now inscribed in the spell book. The frogs are now discussing what they will do if they ever become princes again.
Yep.
These folks. It implies then these did not start as frogs. They have all been infroginated.
Yep. By this spell.
You didn't do it right, or it's a trap.
You know that thing that made our lives this living mess? You have that now.
Yeah. Congrats. Anything else we want to do here?
What does the description of the spell say? Change a creature into a small amphibian.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we should use that on the gargoyle and the monster.
Oh yeah, that might be helpful. Yeah, that'd be good. Want to go?
Yeah.
Should we go and do that?
Yeah. If there's nothing else over here, we can try that.
Yeah. The only other thing I could think is to become a frog in case there's anything else here, but I feel as though that might be counterproductive.
Yeah.
We can give that a shot.
Yeah. If we head back and we see that furry creature again, we can try.
Ooh.
Let's memorize.
Yeah.
Knitfall.
Knitfall.
Again.
Did we only have it once? Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Learn Knitfall. Frogs are discussing the finer points of insect flavoring. Delightful. Okay. I'm gonna save at the frogs. And going west. Nope. Nope, the creature's not here in the forest. The darkening sky is lit by a waning moon.
Okay.
Follow creature? It wasn't really, there was no noun for us to latch on to. So I guess we'll go back in and see if we can turn the gargoyles into frogs.
Alright.
We're in the North Gate. You're beginning to tire, and the spells you've memorized are becoming confused.
Okay.
Interesting. Should we go try the spell? See if it's holding.
I mean, Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can give it a try.
Yeah.
Guarded door. Knitfall monster. That seems to have no effect on a monster. Oh, well. Oh, yeah. We only have... Yeah, we're losing spells. Okay. I guess that's all for this room.
Yeah. I guess we can go back around the long way and go to the southwest tower.
Mouth is getting dry, it says. We keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, through the Hall of Mirrors. Nothing seems to be happening in the labyrinth right now. We're in the tower.
Right. South and south and south.
You're feeling tired, and the spells you've memorized are becoming confused. The darkening sky is lit by a waning moon.
Okay.
We're on the pebbled path. We may have to sleep at some point, it occurs to me.
Right.
Inside gate. Now that we're inside the gate, the darkened sky is now full of bright stars. It is night.
Okay.
What are we doing?
South to the southwest tower.
Okay. Gotcha.
South of the inside gate. Yeah.
Let me save again real quick. Inside gate night. West Hall. This narrow promenade stretches into darkness to the south and through an archway toward an open area to the north. So that's West Hall. And continuing south.
Yep.
Tower. This dark and damp spot is at the base of the southwest tower of the castle. 2 corridors lead off to the north and east. A winding staircase ascends to the tower.
Up the tower!
Yes! Okay, yeah. I jumped around in the map for a second. There we go. Okay. Bedroom. Oh, hey, there's a bedroom. The Eyrie is a round bedroom high in the tower. Narrow windows overlook the outside. A stone stairway leads down. The stars shine down on you from a clear, dark sky. There is a 4-poster feather bed here. You are becoming quite thirsty.
I mean, I guess search the bed.
Okay. You find nothing unusual.
I mean,
The feather bed looks as though it would be quite comfy to sleep on.
yeah. I mean, we're tired, right?
It's true, yeah, we are tired.
Why don't we drink some water and go to bed?
Okay. I have one other thought.
Drinking water. Nature's alarm clock.
I know, right? I don't know if there's anything under the bed,
Yeah.
but it occurs to me. There's nothing but dust there. Okay. Drink water. Delicious spring water tasted great, and there's plenty more. Excellent.
Sleep in bed?
Sleep in bed. Lying on this soft bed puts you to sleep. You fall asleep quickly, the bed being so comfortable. You dream as well of this very room. A beautiful damsel, obviously noble, is standing by the bed, holding a scroll in one hand and resting the other on the bedpost. Turning to block your view, she does something you can't see. Then she gets in bed and turns out the light. But before she does, you can see she is no longer carrying the scroll. You wake.
Alright. Got a bed. Check the bedpost.
Yeah. Morning. Exit bed. Have to get up first. The bed is so comfy you would almost rather not. Get up. Ah, that was a comfortable bed, but now you're on your own feet again. Examine bed post. A careful examination reveals the outline of a small compartment, and near it an ornate carving which looks like a button. You could never have found it on your own. Oh, shades of Deadline. Press button.
Yeah.
The bedpost pops open, revealing a small compartment, and nestled inside, a gold leaf scroll. Take the scroll. Taken.
Yep.
Read scroll. Scroll reads Vaxum spell. Make a hostile creature your friend.
Aww.
Really? Okay. That sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah. Can we learn it?
Well, we'll Nisto Vaxum.
Alright.
And we now have Vaxum in our spell book. I'm going to save again. Vaxum learned. Or not learned. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't think we have anything right now. Yeah, we have no spells memorized currently. But what do we want? Here. Learning our... We're getting up in the morning and preparing our spells.
You know what? I don't think we need it. Let's go see what's next, and then maybe just like bring back up the save if we need to.
Yeah, okay. Righto. I mean, I can think of uses for Vaxum, but we can, we
can do, well, yeah, but we have to get,
we're still
finish
exploring.
Exploring this way, yeah.
All right. Back down the tower we go. Tower. This dark and damp spot is at the base of the southwest tower of the castle. 2 corridors lead off north and east. A winding staircase ascends into the tower.
All right.
East.
Yeah.
South Hall. The damp corridor continues east and west from here. A dark and forbidding stairway leads down to the south. In addition, a narrow passage leads to the north. Yeah. Having a light spell memorized isn't the worst thing, though, for Gru reasons. I think we still have a lamp that's emitting light.
Yeah.
That we... Only because we enchanted it to emit light. But I will double check. Yep, battered lantern providing light. Because challenge accepted. So let's see. So we have east and west, north and south. Let me go ahead and write down the South Hall. And to the south is the staircase. There we are.
All right. We can go look down the staircase.
Sure, that seems perfectly safe.
Yeah. It's okay. We have a lantern.
That's right. Dungeon. A dank and forgotten pit contains the dungeons. There is a cell to the north, and a partly blocked passage leads even deeper into the earth. It looks as if there was once a mortared stone wall blocking this passage, but it has crumbled and collapsed, reopening the tunnel. Huh. Donjon. I guess that what we're looking at, there's a cell to the north, which might be, we might, the stairs might be up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
we.
Yeah.
No grooves here. And then I guess the passage is further down?
I guess. Yeah, I mean,
Maybe?
let's go into the cell first. Let's check that.
Okay, sure, why not? That sounds fun.
Yeah, what?
The cell door is closed.
Ugh.
Open cell door. The door is very rusty and reluctantly opens. Okay. We didn't have to use magic.
Yeah.
Cell. This is a damp and unhealthy dungeon cell with writing on the walls. The rusty door of the cell is open. Okay.
All right. Read the wall.
The wall is covered with graffiti and scratchings marking time's passage. You notice that the mortar holding a square block has been chipped away and the block is loose. Okay.
Remove the block.
You pull the block out of the crumbling wall, revealing a dark passage leading east. Ah. Hang on. I'm gonna move all the things. So I can on the map here so that I can add the cell. And there's now a passage to the east.
All right.
Leading out
Yeah.
of
Let's
the
go
cell.
east.
Yeah, sure. Secret passage. This is a crudely carved secret passage. It appears to have been hollowed out by perhaps generations of prisoners. A passage leads west. A short, crudely hewn passage leads up. Lying near the door is a silver spoon discarded by the prisoners as too soft to dig with. It is only slightly worn. Lying on the ground and slightly damaged is a stained scroll. Ooh.
All right. Get the
Save
scroll
real quick.
and the spoon.
And this is a secret passage. And in it we have spoon, scroll, and west and up. All right. Okay. Scrolls being left lying around like candy. What's the world coming to? I don't know.
No, nom nom nom. Scroll, scroll, scroll.
Yes! Get all. Orange silver spoon, stained scroll. Both taken. Wait a minute. I've had a thought about one of our spells. We don't need to worry about it right now.
I'm like, I think we can restore the silver spoon.
Oh, that too. I was thinking we could restore the lantern.
Oh yeah.
Which is funny because we don't need to, but the scroll reads, XX spell, make things move with greater speed. That sounds cool.
The lantern, it may not work because it said like deliberately broken.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right.
The spoon also may not work.
That's true. Well, we'll go ahead and Nusto XX so that we have that in our spell book. Which it is now. We have now collected it. We're just.
Gotta
this is
catch
just.
'em all.
I know. Just
Spell 'em
Pokemoning
on.
all his spells. It would actually. It would be Pokespell, isn't it? Because it stands for Pocket Monster.
Yeah.
I still have not seen any of the Pokemon media, but
I've seen very little.
certain things passed to me through osmosis, and also there was a campaign that I ran on this channel that someone started. Their character started out as basically the guy from Pokemon. He was someone who dealt with spirits and just wanted to catch all of them. But Anyway, do we want to try to restore the spoon?
Nah, I don't think we need to waste the time currently.
All right.
Don't see a need. What is it? Up?
Yeah, we have up. If we want to explore up.
Yeah, we can look up.
Righto. Up. Unfortunately, this passage was never completed, so you don't get very far. Neither did the prisoners. Ah, okay. So, not really. So, does that mean we're supposed to do something with them? I don't know.
I mean, probably. I don't think we have. We find a scroll that makes something bigger. We can make the spoon bigger and turn it into a shovel and dig up.
That's true.
But I'm not going to dig with a spoon that that barely works. Work
No.
for them. No. So.
You sure you don't want to try it?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
What else? Let's see more. Yeah, I guess we go back. We got another scroll. Let's keep up the scroll hunt.
Okay. An idea has occurred to me here that is actually a lot of things have already been spoken, but I won't go into detail yet if we don't want to worry about this right now.
I don't care. I mean, please always speak your mind.
Okay. Really? I don't know. It's not safe. I'm going to tell you something, though, before I say anything else. I don't remember any of this at all.
Uh-huh.
There is a chance I have never played this game. The more I think about it. I might actually have only played Sorcerer, which is the second game. Because there are things I'm remembering about how all of this works. But I feel
but
like
not any of the things.
Yeah, I don't remember any of these things. So, I don't know, maybe something will spark a memory sooner or later, but I feel like maybe I didn't actually play this.
I see, and ironically, I don't ever remember playing this, but I kind of remember finding bread in a broken down oven. I kind of like. So who knows? I'm not reading into it. It's not.
Okay, it's hard to say. I don't know. Are these memories or are these just new ideas? I don't know. Where does one end and the other begin? Are we the sum of our memories? I was thinking about using the spell on the spoon and then using the spoon to dig.
We can try.
Because the spoon might have been too worn for them to get through.
Right. I just again, I think the spell said if it was broken, not if it was, aged.
Yeah, I mean that's that's totally possible. Willful damage.
Yeah.
We can give it a shot.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm gonna. How many?
Learn.
I'm gonna save real quick. Okay. Learn. Krebs. Spoon. Nothing happens. Okay. While we're here.
Yeah.
Krebs lantern. Nothing happens. Okay. I just wanted to know. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Let's get out of here.
Yes. So maybe we can do more with this later. Let me. I'm just gonna go ahead and write. Oh no. Anyway, in case this becomes important later. So.
To back west.
West. Back to the cell. South. Square block sits beside a passage in the eastern wall. Back in the dungeon. And
Did we think it was down?
Yeah, it didn't say, but I think it's probably down.
Yeah.
Because there's still north and a partly blocked passage leads even deeper into the earth, so I'm guessing it's down. We can give it a try. Yep, translucent room. This is a peculiar room whose cream-colored walls are thin and translucent.
Okay.
An exit is to the south, and it is very strange indeed, perfectly round and black as pitch. Is this an orbit of annihilation? A sphere of annihilation? Is this the... Did these folks play the Tomb of Horrors? Is that where we are? Translucent room.
All right.
Memory or hallucination? Who can tell? I know, right? I could be imagining all of this. Yeah. Strange exit. So, translucent room. I assume we... yeah.
Yeah.
And, so I guess we will... It's to the south is the exit.
Yeah. Let's just go.
Yeah,
Haphazard.
let's not stop and examine anything.
No.
Translucent room. This is a peculiar room whose cream-colored walls are thin and translucent. Passages go southeast, east, and north, and they are very strange indeed. Perfectly round and black as pitch. Oh dear. Is this a maze?
Yeah. Look, sounds like it.
So we have southeast, east, and north.
Southeast and east. East.
Sure. Translucent room. West, southwest, and northeast. So let me do another of those.
Southwest.
Stomach's starting to grumble. Okay.
Northeast.
Yeah, those are our directions. Yep.
All right.
Where do you want to go?
Yeah, northeast.
Northeast. Translucent room. Passages go northwest, southwest, and southeast. Very strange indeed. Translucent room. As I continue adding things to the map. Northwest, southwest, southeast. Okay, I wonder if this would benefit from, should I multi-screen this one?
I mean, we can just move it down
Just
for
periodically
now.
show people what,
Yeah.
what I'm doing. That's all I was just thinking. Here's where we are so far. This is part of the plan.
I say we continue northwest.
Northwest. Translucent room. Southwest, southeast.
Sure. Southwest.
Why not? Translucent room. And exit is to the northeast. That's it.
All right. We found one end.
Yay. Yeah, thus far, this seems to be Euclidean, so...
Yeah, it's not a horrible death
Yeah.
maze yet.
Not yet. It's not like Not like the maze in Zork 1 yet. So back out of here.
Yeah.
And
Northeast,
I guess...
southeast.
And
then I think we're at a place we can go southeast again.
Yep. We'll try that again.
Yeah.
And translucent room. Northwest is it. Okay.
All right, so we found another end.
Yeah. Cool. I like this maze more than the other one.
Right.
So back here, we're
southwest, and then
Right,
southwest
right.
again.
Oh, and just to show everyone where we are again for a moment. We are here. Okay. And we're heading southwest again. And now we have passages northwest, northeast.
All right. And let's go.
As soon as I can properly connect this. I don't know if if this just goes back there.
Yeah,
or
let's just try it first.
But yeah.
If it has an east and southeast, it's probably connected.
Yeah, I mean it's likely. But that would mean that there's nothing you do down here at all.
Currently, yeah.
Which is strange. But maybe it might be useful for something later. I guess we'll see.
All right.
Okay. So if you head northwest, southeast, east, and north, and becoming quite hungry. So could be this room.
Yeah, so you just go north and then up, and then...
Yeah, so if that works...
Yeah.
North, exit is to the south. Up, dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That was it. So... That was weird. Although it didn't tell us we could go up. That was the, that was interesting. Pixel doing there. Anyway, thoughts? Anything we should be doing in there?
I didn't. Let's go back. Let's see. Very strange indeed. Perfectly round. I mean, we could go back and examine the exit, but I don't.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
about the only thing there.
Examine exit. Use the word exit, yeah. Passages are perfectly round and black. The walls seem to be made of carbon. I suppose that tells us something.
Yeah.
What I'm not clear on.
No. Yeah,
It
I
is a
mean,
clue to
we
something.
can leave, I guess. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I
Do
don't
we
have a
want
clue
to-
on this.
Yeah. Do we want to just save the turns, or do we want to,
I mean, we can.
I'll save again just in case, but I'll restore back to, oh, we last saved at the bedroom, I guess. Is that right? Wait a minute.
I thought we
Secret
saved.
passage 2, there we go. I guess it was in alphabetical order for some reason. Here, let me do that. There we go. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry. Just trying to remember what we just did. Okay. Yeah, we did everything.
Yeah, because we have Maxim already. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that takes us back to the cell.
And then I guess go back up to the South Hall and continue
Yeah.
east.
We can do that. Okay. South. Up. Yes. Good. South Hall. East. Gallery. The east-west corridor opens into a gallery. The walls are lined with portraits, some of apparently great value. All of the eyes seem to follow you as you pass, and the entire room is subtly disturbing. Gallery. Portraits.
All right. So we're in the Scooby-Doo Hall.
Look at portrait. The portraits represent a wide cross-section of races. Elves, gnomes, dwarves, wizards, warlocks, and just plain folk are all here. Some of them are known to you, such as Lord Dimwit Flathead of the Great Underground Empire, depicted here in excessive detail, and the Wizard of Frobaz, shown in a typical pose of anguished bewilderment. Your stomach is starting to rumble.
All right. I suppose we should eat bread.
Yes. Eat bread. It tasted great. There's a lot of bread left, too.
And then keep going. East?
All right.
I don't...
Take portrait. Oh! You can interact with them. That's interesting. I don't know if we're supposed to do anything with these, but I was just thinking we might be able to. Do we want one of these? Or?
Yeah, well, I mean, let's get Frorose. He was a magician. Maybe we can... He's got a spell on him.
Ooh, it would take more magic than you've got.
What? Can we examine his? Can we search
Sure.
his?
The Wizard of Frobaz was a former member of the Circle of Enchanters, but he was removed for forgetfulness bordering on senility. The lively wit of his youth having been replaced by a semi-sadistic mischievousness, coupled with an inability to pronounce words beginning with other than the letter F, he was retired to a small unoccupied corner of the Great Underground Empire, hopefully out of harm's way. There's a bit of lore about that freaking wizard.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Search.
Oh, search?
Yeah, search his portrait.
Nothing unusual.
Okay.
Behind Frobaz portrait. Find nothing but there's nothing behind the Frobaz portrait. Talk to Frobaz portrait. You can't talk to the Frobaz portrait? Oh well. Examine Flathead portrait. This rather dull man stumbled into royalty in the Great Underground Empire, and much to everyone's chagrin. Named by his people Lord Dimwit Flathead the Excessive, he was best known for his outrageousness in style, policy, and engineering. His portrait captures him in the classic pose of imbecility astride his gaudy throne.
All right. We'll look behind his portrait.
Throne. No, I don't. Behind Flathead portrait. Nothing behind it. Hey, Flathead portrait. You can't be serious. Touch Flathead portrait. Fiddling with the Flathead portrait doesn't do anything. Okay. Look at eyes. We don't know the word eyes. Okay.
Do you want to look at the unknown portraits?
Okay. That what they were called?
Yeah. Unknown persons.
Unknown persons.
Portraits of unknown persons.
Look at unknown portraits. No, that's just all of them. Okay.
Alright, we tried.
Yeah.
East!
Yeah. East! It's a room full of a little bit of lore. South Gate. This interior courtyard stands at the southern entrance to the castle, where a small rusty gate is standing open and slowly swaying in a gentle sea breeze. Beyond the gate can be seen a small meadow, and beyond that, a white beach on a misty sea. Passages enter the castle proper to the north, east, and west.
Okay.
Let me find where we were here.
Right there.
Let's see. This is South Gate. And so it's north and east. And to the south is out, I guess.
Yep. Might as well go south, I think.
Okay. Meadow. This is a meadow near the sea. There is a smell of salt in the air. Only heather and thistles grow here. To the north is a gate leading into the castle. A narrow path to the southeast leads to the shore of the sea.
I'm not familiar what heather is.
I used to know.
Oh, alright.
I do not remember. I thought that was sort of like the down off of a flower, or a very downy flower. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Take heather. Why bother? Take thistle. Why bother? Your mouth is getting rather dry. Alright. From Southgate. Hang on. And, so yeah, there we are.
Yeah. So southeast, right?
Beach. This is a rocky beach along a gray and lifeless sea. There is dead seaweed covering many rocks, and listless waves barely stir the flotsam and jetsam here. There are many shells, but all are broken. A narrow path to the northwest leads into a meadow. Crawling slowly along the beach is an enormous turtle, his enameled shell shining with all the colors of the rainbow. Interesting.
Oh. We gotta talk to that turtle.
Yeah, that is important. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna look at the spell book again. And that is
Knitful.
Knitful. Learn or memorize, if we wish. Knitful. Mouth is getting rather dry. Examine turtle. Nothing special to be seen. Okay, Knitful. Turtle.
Yeah.
The rainbow turtle looks at you for a moment, and you look at it. Hello, it says. Talk to turtle. The rainbow turtle looks at you expectantly, as though he thought you were about to talk.
Ask turtle about shell.
Doesn't know the word about. What do you think this is? Deadline? We could ask it to do something. Follow me. I don't know.
Turtle, get scroll.
The rainbow turtle seems confused. I don't see any scroll here.
Oh.
Turtle, dig? I don't understand. What are you referring to? Look at shells. Move shells. You can't move the flotsam. Look at flotsam. Take flotsam. Turtle. Move flotsam. I'm only a turtle, you know, even if I can talk. I'm not sure what we should ask the turtle to do, if anything.
Yeah.
Who is the turtle? Wait a minute. I forgot we have the who is command. Never mind.
Did you have the turtle get the shell? Or a shell?
Turtle. Take shell? I don't think I can carry that too easily. You're becoming quite thirsty. Turtle. Remove shell. I don't think I can carry that too easily. Examine shell. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Examine water. You see nothing special about the quantity of water. Wait a minute. Look at sea. The sea is very rough. I wouldn't go in. Examine seaweed. You hear a rustling in the brambles nearby, and you catch a glimpse of something small and furry as it scurries away. It happened again!
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it, though. Follow furry thing. No, it doesn't know the word furry. Turtle, what was that? Another word. Very unclear.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Spells. Cast the light spell on the shell, on the turtle.
Okay.
He has a rainbow back.
So let's see. Oh, I know it's Frotz, but you're just looking. Make things move with greater. We could XX the turtle if we want.
Oh, that too.
I didn't think about it, but yeah. Turn it into an amphibian.
Yeah. So let's XX learn XX and learn the light again.
Okay. Sun's starting to set.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's try lighting up his shell.
Frotz.
Turtle, I guess.
Turtle. There's an almost blinding flash of light. As the rainbow turtle begins to glow, it slowly fades to a less painful level, but the rainbow turtle is now quite usable as a light source. You are very thirsty now. You'd better have a drink soon.
Okay. All right.
I drink water. There's still some left.
Okay.
Shall we XX the turtle?
Yeah.
The rainbow turtle shimmers, then vibrates in place for a few seconds, but doesn't take any notice of the change.
Okay. All right. I don't know what else to do.
I think we've got like part of something, but
Yeah.
Turtle looks at you closely. It's clear he would like to understand you, but he doesn't. Oh, a spell wore off. He only snaps, hisses, and clicks to you.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know if anything, if he's supposed to speed up. I don't know if he's supposed to swim somewhere.
Yeah. I think we need more information. So.
Yeah. Forgotten what they are again. No, never mind. Okay. Yeah, we've got a piece of it, but we don't have the whole thing.
Yeah. All right. So let's head back and continue
All
on
right.
our way around the castle.
We just sort of finish this bit out.
Yeah, I figure we get to the tower and it might be a good spot.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. This was a lovely beach and it had a turtle, which is always a plus. Do we want... I don't know if it'll help at all. Yeah, you can just restore back to the south gate. We already know what's down there. Okay. Back at the south gate. We'll head east. Tower. This is the base of the southeast tower of the castle. From atop a winding staircase comes a loud crashing and screeching noise. To the west is a corridor and the southern gate of the castle. I assume there's something up there. Shall we head up?
Yes, absolutely.
Righto. Engine room. Ah, I see. That's why the castle's not moving. The engine's not working. What? The room is filled with noise. Every castle has an engine, right? The room is filled with noise, crashing and smashing, gurgling of water, grinding of gears, and horrible screeching of metal. Huge devices of obscure purpose provide these effects. The most notable is a huge hammer that smashes continually against the stone floor. It makes any crossing of the room a dangerous enterprise. The whole construction brings to mind the words, "infernal machine." Far off to the southeast is another room. You can barely make out something on the floor of that room. It might be a scroll, but from here, you can't tell for sure. And the southeast, I think, is where the exit is. Yeah, okay. So, some things might happen here.
Yeah. Here's
Here's some options. The machinery is extremely noisy and complicated. Other than that, you can't imagine of what use it is to anybody. Examine hammer. Nothing special about the hammer. Mouth is getting rather dry. I'm going to assume if we go southeast, the hammer will get us. So, of course, we should try it.
Yeah, we should try it.
Yep, there we go. You start across the room, but less than halfway across, the huge hammer crashes down right on top of you. Okay. Right. I have an idea, but yeah, what were you going to say?
Yeah, well, let's restore, and then we'll do your idea. I think we have the same idea.
Yep. Okay. So XX.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. XX self. You feel energetic and zippy. Southeast.
Yep.
You zip across the room easily, but you must have touched something dangerous along the way because the machinery speeds up, going faster and faster. Oh, great. Control room. This is the control room for all the machinery nearby. The controls are all magical, of course. The walls are covered by blinking lights and shifting displays, interspersed with arcane dials and glowing buttons. It's all very mysterious looking. The exit to the northwest leads into a room with machinery which would surely crush you if you were to attempt to enter it. A scroll of old brittle parchment is here.
All right. Let's not get the scroll. Let's just read it. See if it lets us read it where it is.
Okay.
It usually takes it anyway if we do that. But
yeah, we might be fine, but yeah, that's true. Lights, displays, dials, buttons. Okay. Just in case we need to mess with those things. Okay. Now in the control room. Okay, read scroll. The scroll reads, Coolcad spell, dispel a magic spell. The spell seems very long and extremely complicated. Oh, we might not be able to memorize this one. Or rather, we might not be able to, well, yeah, we might not be able to put this in the book. It might be too powerful.
I mean, we can try it.
Sure. Nusto Coolcad. You must have a legible spell scroll in your hands before you... we have to pick it up.
What? Oh, let's learn the repair and see if we can fix it.
I think all the machinery is in the other room. I don't think it's necessarily going to be harmed in here, but... Hang on a second.
We can try.
Save. And the control room. Control room. Take scroll. Taken. There we go. A huge hammer smashes against the stone floor outside. Do we try no-stowing it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Your spellbook begins to glow softly. In a spectacular effort of magic, the powers of the Nusto spell attempt to copy the Coolcad spell into your book, but the spell is too long, too complicated, and too powerful. The glow fades, but fortunately the brittle scroll remains intact. A dull aching fills your head, and your mind is again probed, more deeply than when you entered the castle. Ooh, we tried too hard on that one. Maybe we should restore and not do that.
Okay.
We
right.
drew attention from the what is it, a warlock? I've forgotten. Yep, the warlock. Okay. We have the scroll. I guess the question is, how do we get out of here? As the machinery sped up.
Alright. So...
Okay. We can still take the scroll. I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we go back into that room, it's not going to go well.
No, it's going to kill us. We have to turn the machines off. So,
right.
Look at controls.
7 controls. Corner. Lights and displays hold no meaning for you. A random number generator may be controlling the whole thing for all you know. Oh, great.
Okay. Examine the displays.
Nope, same response. Let me see. It was hang on. Lights, displays, dials, buttons.
Let's. Yeah, light.
glowing button. Hang on. Press glowing button. Pushing the glowing button doesn't accomplish anything. Okay.
I would try turning the dial.
Okay. This has no effect.
All right.
I guess we could try XXing ourselves and going out again.
Yeah.
Just in case it just was a peculiarity of,
When we learn XX twice and then cast it on us twice.
Yeah, that would have been... Ooh, I get you.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it once. We're going to see if that works. Ooh, nothing seems to happen. Perhaps the spell needs time before it can be cast again.
Oh.
Okay. I know I keep restoring. So if we go northwest, we die, right? Yes, okay. You rush across the engine room, your speed enabling you to avoid the gigantic hammers and gears. At this speed, they appear to move with great deliberation. Unfortunately, you set off a trap, and many sharp spears fly at you from all directions. They seem to move pretty fast. Too fast, in fact. You can't dodge them, and you are severely skewered. And then they do their regular sequence. Back in the control room, I just want to see what spells we have again. So XX we used. Vaxum is probably not useful here. Cleash. Change a creature into a small amphibian. That won't help. Rev. Repair willful damage. Maybe. Rezrov is open something. Maybe. Blorb. Protect a small object as though in a strong box. Knitfall. Converse
I have
with
an
the
idea.
beasts. Rots is light. Nusto has learned a thing. What's your idea?
Turn us into an amphibian and put us in
Ooh.
a strong box.
Interesting.
Because it protects like it was in a strong box.
Okay. Learn Cleash. And what's the other one? Blorb. I think we might have... No, we don't have Blorb. We slept. Leash and Blorb. Leash and Blorb went out to have a picnic one day. Will Cleash self?
Yep. Ah.
You are turned into a newt and scurry off to find your friends in the swamp. You are distracted by various yummy insects along the way, but eventually settle into a nice gooey part of the morass and live happily ever after, at least until you are devoured by a heron. Your score is 85 out of a possible 400 in 197 moves. That puts you in the class of Parlor Magician. At least it doesn't immediately dump you out of the game this time.
Yeah.
Would you like to restart the game from the beginning, restore a save game position, or end this session of the game? All
right.
Quit. Yeah. Shall we rest on it?
Yeah, we can rest on it.
Yeah, unless you have another idea. I can't think of anything else right now.
No, the making
aside
us
from-
small was good.
Like trying to repair something with the machine or something.
Yeah. Or we may have to go in there later.
Yeah, that's another possibility. I mean, we might not have everything we need.
Right.
Well, we explored the final tower. I guess should we bookmark it here?
Yeah,
All right.
we're good.
Good. Excellent. Okay. Very good, very good.
Alright.
Cool. Let me, then... I'll bring us back to where we were. Then, in our monitors. There we are. Excellent. Excellent. Cool.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, folks, for watching this. This has been very interesting. What do you think? What do you think so far now that we've started Enchanter?
This is fun. It doesn't seem like as infuriating. Like there's more detail.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of more like, you know,
It's
you don't
evolved
have
a
to
little.
guess quite as much. At least not yet.
Yeah, not yet. That's true. We got pretty far.
All right.
I can see a little bit of the DNA of, well, obviously because it's the same people, but I can see some of the DNA of Zork 2 in here with a little bit of how spells were working. Not too much,
Yeah.
but still a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. Interesting enough.
Yeah. Cool.
See how it goes.
I am looking forward to resuming this then when we get back to it.
Yeah.
In a couple of in a little while.
I believe I will be gone the next time we will. Yeah, because that would be the 10th, and I'm leaving the morning of the 10th.
Will you ever return?
I will. I'll return the
Okay.
next Monday.
Excellent. Okay, so you're not departing the planet or anything.
No.
That's good.
I'm returning to my homeland of Pensland, and
yes.
I'll be there for a few days while my brother turns 40.
Excellent. The ritual of change. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for playing this with me. This is interesting. I am liking it. And I suspect I've never played it before.
Yeah, none of it sounds. Parts of it sound familiar, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you. There's a chance you might actually know more about this game than I do.
Wait, we're not gonna go there. that seems like a bridge too far.
I mean, I only occasionally. It's just because I obsessively read all the material on it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But well, let's say you may have more experience playing this game than I do. I would say that. Okay. Well, yeah. I guess. Was there anything else you wanted to let folks know before we dive off?
No. Yeah. I don't have anything to share currently, so we'll see.
Okay. Cool. Well, I am. What am I doing? Today is Thursday, so tomorrow, if all is well, we will be our Cthulhu group will be playing again tomorrow. We're playing Trail of Cthulhu, the Bookhounds of London, and so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that plot continues. We just got everyone off of the train finally, and so we're going to explore the horrors of Edinburgh in the 1930s. Well, horrors only for my character, because Edinburgh is the last place he should ever be, because he's from... The gangs are not friendly to him. He is from a different kind of gang that they were not friendly with back then. So we're going to do that, and yeah, that's going to be it for a while. As far as planned stuff, I'm going to be playing Frostpunk and other games and things like that. More announcements soon, perhaps. If you follow the High Shelf Collective channel and you want to, and I believe they have a link on their channel to their Discord if you want to hear me ramble on about Don't Rest Your Head on Monday night. But that's about it. So thank you all very much for watching. We very much appreciate it. We may go say hi to someone when we hit the end card. I'll have to see what's going on over there, in the various channels that are going right now. But in the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we'll catch you next time. Farewell.
All right. Bye.